Good evening and welcome back to Fully Loaded Softball. We're here at West Beach in South Australia for Fully Loaded Softball. Tonight's games, well, same as the first 3 weeks. It's Thunders, Vespers and Angels. James Harris here joining me at the commentary position. Part of the Space Quake Sports Call team is Mark Cramp and Laura Bond.
Good evening, everybody. James, Laura, how are you?
Good evening.
Well, big clash to start the night off. It is the Thunder versus the Vespers. Vespers in desperate need of a win. They were winless last week. Just the 2 wins from 6 starts. Thunder on an absolute roll. 4 wins from their 6 starts, including 2 wins last week. And that's off the back of their superstars, Steph Trzynski, Belinda White. Guys, what's been impressive for the Thunder so far this year? Why are they sitting top?
Stephanie Trzynski and Belle White. You can't go past those two, can you?
No, you can't. That's a pretty formidable combination there.
You've got one of the best pitchers in this competition and or the league at the moment. And you've got one of the best batters definitely in this competition, batting 9 from 11, I think. We'll go through that a little bit later.
Let's do that in the middle. But right here, you've heard it here first. Breaking news, Belinda White is not playing tonight. Potential career-threatening injury. No, she's just having the night off. She's a little sore, but that's okay. I mean, this is in preparation for national championships and giving her a rest the day after a game with the Sturt Falcons Softball Club. Nothing wrong with that. Listen, we're just about ready to go, so hopefully the camera gets to the action, and we'll catch up with you in between innings and, of course, in between the 2 games. Well, Vespers to get things started tonight. It is their marquee player and team captain, Maddie Cameron, to lead things off. Who's on base for us? We've got Cara Schultz on third, Erin Stone on second, Georgia Hooper on first. Steph Trzynski's going to kick things off for the Thunder. She's into her motion. Maddie Cameron gets after the first pitch and goes foul. Catching is Sarah Tonkin. At first base is Araha Munro. Let's go round the rest of the diamond quickly while we can. Ellie Georgiaris at second, Sophie Roberts at third, Jess Neves, who will make her debut for the Stars this summer at the Gillies Shield Guys at shortstop. Ball low in the dirt. Jackie Beale at left, Simi Dhaliwal at centre, and Chloe Charlton at right field. Looks like a very good team, very fast team,
Yep.
Versatile team out there, guys.
It is, and this is going to be an interesting contest right here that we're seeing Steph Trzynski to a very, very good friend of hers in Maddie Cameron, who went after the first ball, not afraid to have a crack. This will be a good little fun duel for both of them, I'm sure.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Laura, we're just waiting for those those one-liners.
My special comments.
Goes after this one, but it goes foul, and would have been a handy shot because it's a 180-foot fence. That was pretty close to the line.
Yeah, that went flat, long and hard too, didn't it? That would have cleared the 180, I reckon, Laura?
The shortened fence?
Yes.
Yeah. It would have.
No doubt about it. Best colour man in the business.
Maddie Cameron 2-2 the count, and just chops this one, and it's high and in foul territory. Good take from Sarah Tonkin for the first out, so the bases remain loaded for the Vespers and not able to get off to a good start.
Well, watch this pitch by Trzynski. She sort of took a little bit off it and it just faded up, and Maddie Cameron chased it, but she sort of checked at it and just didn't swing through it. It just popped straight up. So that was a good duel.
Hayley Benithan for the Vespers, and we can see Nick in the back of the shot there. He'll join us on the commentary team in not too long. We may need to just check that radar's working. That one came in at a maximum pace of 0, according to our radar there.
Too fast, James.
There we go. 97 is the count there for those watching at home.
Hey, listen, we had Hayley on last week, had a bit of a chat to her and talked about her goals, her aspirations, her training, her boxing. Isn't she batting well? She's hitting the ball and she's really coming up through the ranks, isn't she?
Yeah, Hayley is definitely one of the leaders of this Vespers team. They're a little undermanned tonight. However, they won't lose anything in leadership with Hayley. They're behind the home plate, catching tonight. Swing and a miss, and goes down for the second out. And this might be a good opportunity and hopefully not put the jinx on Steph Trzynski. She's pitched 4 innings in this competition for 12 batters, which means she's throwing an average of 3 batters an inning. And that's just almost unbeatable in this form of the game.
That'd be stats that you'd be used to, Laura?
Not quite. Not these days, anyway. It puts a lot of pressure on the batter in the box as well, knowing that you've got a pitcher in such great form. That's a great pitch.
Rise ball from Trzynski. This is Jordan Lee up to bat. There is 2 out. The runners haven't moved, so really needs to get the ball into play right here for the Vespers. Swing and a miss, and Trzynski just has not stopped going about her business. Red hot form in the Adelaide Club competition for West Torrens. And she's continuing the form right here with the Thunder. Now, of course, the Thunder, sponsored by Emmsee Sportswear. Emmsee Sportswear on Port Road, of course. And we can't do this competition without the support of our franchise owners. Of course, the Vespers franchise owners are the Scoots Cafe, West Beach. So hello to Faris and Hayley. We're desperate to get you on the show, so we'll get to you hopefully in the not too distant future. Guys, 1 inning gone and Thunder are just asserting their dominance.
Well, we said it before, and you said it, James. 1, 2, 3 batters. So she's keeping her average up. It's going to be very difficult for the Vespers to get on top of her and break her. But those runners on base are going to make it interesting, Laura.
Not only did it was at 3 up, 3 down, it's how they went about getting those outs as well. 2 K2s and a pop-up to the catcher. That's not a convincing 3 at-bats.
You can see in the background of our shot there, we've got Amanda Layden joining us, part of the softball SA team, and Kelsey Nucky just making sure that she's pressing the right ones. Of course, it's a 15-second shot clock. Each pitch has 15 seconds to deliver between pitches. Part of the speed-up rules of this game to keep things going. Jess Nevers leading things off for the Thunder, and I just mentioned she will make her debut for the Stars. That team finalised at the end of last week after, well, the Stars selection panel decided to not go into the draft or pick another international. Jess Nevers promoted to the senior side, and she's no doubt going to be buzzing after that news.
I actually think that's fantastic news for her. She's always been a great performer in the local competition, and to actually put that faith in a local player over an international is a really good reward for her.
Well, a pass ball is going to score the first run of the game, and Hayley Benithan's behind the plate for the Vespers. Jordan Lee is pitching for the Vespers. Just around the diamond, we can see Melissa de Grief from the Netherlands playing at first base, Jessie Keach at second. Maddie Cameron's playing shortstop in game 1. This one's chopped down, foul. Yeah, it was going to run foul. Thought it came off her toe, but just a foul called. Cara Schultz at third base, and in the outfield, Georgia Hooper,
You could have almost
Ada
played the...
Caruana, and Erin Stone.
Sorry, I was just about to say you could have almost played the force home there rather than letting it go foul.
No one on first.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, Chloe
Thanks
came
for that.
home. Chloe came home. So just going back to Jess Neves, congratulations. That's a fan. She fouls this one off. Congratulations to her, because she's playing not only very well in this competition, James. She's playing well in the A grade competition. She's had 3 from 8 in here with a 1 dinger.
So 375 average.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good to take away. And not only that, she's a great person, good team person, and can move around the diamond as well. So that's a good little pickup.
Just watches that one go hard down and inside, just out of the strike zone. She's definitely an improver in the competition as well. We saw her go from Port to Glenelg for a couple of seasons and then back to the Magpies, and she really solidifies the infield for the Maggies, and she gets herself a lead-off walk. She already brought in a run after a pass ball earlier on in her at-bat. Sophie Roberts is batting 2 for the Thunder.
Now the force is on.
Yes. You're like Lee. You just predict what's going to happen. So we'll get a play like this now, and there'll be a force to home. And I hate to say it, but you probably called it very early.
Goes up to the first pitch and a ground ball to Jessie Keach. A double play attempt from the Vespers, but not in time. The throw was just after Sophie Roberts beat that throw out. So a fielder's choice to Sophie Roberts. A run does score. The runner from third was Simi Dhaliwal, scores, and the Thunder go to a 2-run lead.
That's a great take by Maddie Cameron with the bare hand to at second base on that force.
Covers up for the stolen base, but she gives up a strike for that one. The runner didn't go on the 1-3 split. Yeah, Jessie Keach did well on that ground ball as well, going up the middle, so she's running away from first base, so that play's almost out the window, and made the right decision to go for one of the lead runners.
Yes, she did, and you can probably hear in the background, we've got a couple of whistles, we've got a couple of trumpets. Everyone's starting to get into it now, so once a run starts scoring, keep an eye out. There'll be a bit of music, a bit of celebrations happening as we go.
I think from what I've gathered in this format of the game, outs are so valuable. So you've always got to go the easy out rather than trying to go the complicated or the advanced runner to secure the out.
That's terrific analysis there on the tactics of this game, because the runs are flowing quite well, except against Steph Drzezinski, of course, but the runs are happening in this game. We've seen tallies of 10 and 13 and 9 at a high-scoring game. So, yeah, give up a run to make an out. And ground ball to Maddie Cameron on the backhand side. She's got Sophie Roberts in a rundown. A late throw back. Jessie Keach is going to run her down, and a late toss there to make the tag. Cara Schultz at third base. Perhaps went the opposite way there. Your statewide super replay will show the play here. They've given up another run to make it out. This is where you want the early throw, so the runner doesn't get to the advanced base on an error or a mistake. Catcher speed up rule will be enforced here. Jackie Beale will go and take second base in place of Sarah Tonkin. So 2 out now, but 3 runs on the board for the Thunder.
Well, that's exactly what you were just talking about then, Laura. Like the run coming home in a normal game, you would lace that home. You would try and protect that plate.
Absolutely.
But here you give up 1 or 2. Again, like James said, Steph Drzezinski, you got to get 1 or 2 off her. But this is where the short game might come into play here against someone like Steph, and put the pressure back on the fielders away from her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Araha Munro is the batter in the box for the Thunder as Jackie Beale takes a base on the pass ball. So we've got runner at third, we've got 2 out, and the 2 outs have been from the infield. So they're manufacturing outs here on the fielder's choices. So that ground ball up the middle was a 4-6, and of course we had to put out to Cara Schultz at third base on that rundown play. So pretty good defense, really. At the end of the day, they're making the outs. Munro in a good hitter's count. High for a ball, and the more pitches she can see, the better preparation for national championships coming up in January is going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, and she's going through the ranks as well, isn't she? She's come a long way in the last 2 seasons that I've actually been involved with the women's competition, and that was a great turn at bat. So she's doing very well.
Yeah, Laura, you'd be able to tell us, playing A grade at a young age. When did you start? You were 7 when you started A grade?
1943. Was it?
1932. No, I was 13.
13 when you started A grade softball, and you would have played in a state team either around then or not long after that.
The first rep year I was 10 years old, playing in the Sapsaza.
Unbelievable. So very similar story to Araha Munro, who she was thrust upon A-grade competition due to pregnancy of club teammate Jade Peterson. And gee, she showed such maturity at such a young age to shoulder that load for the first bit of the season until they could get an import pitcher, Kim Reader. Yeah,
look, it's that situation is always going to be challenging. There's going to be an incredible amount of pressure on such a young pitcher, but the experience that you gain from that is invaluable, and you don't get that in any other circumstances. Coming in as a 16, 17-year-old, you've had that experience, and
So we're back to loaded bags. The base on balls brings up loaded bags, Jim. So we're back.
For Steph Trzynski,
Yeah.
of course, that was Ellie Georgiaris that got a walk. How imposing did she look in the left-handed batter's box just then? A nice open stance, hands were pretty high as well. So
Yeah.
she was looking that she could have gone short or long. And that was just from the stance. So not bad from Ellie G.
So Jordan Lee would be feeling a little bit of pressure now, knowing that her names, there we go.
Desperate for a ground ball, and that's exactly what they got. Cara Schultz just backed away from that a little bit, took it over the top of the base. Easy out as she just steps on third base for the force play. Statewide super replay.
Well, I was a little bit worried there. I started to fumble a little bit, Laura, because I didn't know if she'd actually touched the bag then, was looking for the play at first, and didn't realise the force was on. But she touched the bag and all over Red Rover.
It's interesting to see some of the field positioning as well, that they're actually giving themselves some space behind the line, behind the bases, a little more in line with the baseball tactic.
Yep.
I'm just palming you out the way there, Mark, so we could see Laura talking on screen there. Laura Bond, Mark Cram and James Harris joining us here on Spacequake Sports. And guys, I've seen her in the crowd. Hayley from Scoots Cafe West Beach is in the crowd. I just give her a little wave there. She'll be our guest not too far away.
I might be able to go and see if she brought some coffees down.
Best coffee in West Beach. Back to the action, and aren't we familiar looking at this player leading off? However, it's leading off the second inning, Ada Caruana. Of course, expertly coached by her husband Lee, who is a beautiful man. This ball's popped up to right field. It's back. It's deep. It's just off the glove, and it's going to get knocked over the fence for a ground rule double. So 2 runs will score off that piece of the ball opposite field to Ada Caruana, and the Vespers are on the board.
I tell you what, Laura, that was very, very close. If she didn't get a glove to that could have been over the cone. It was standing very close to that green cone out there. So you watch the statewide super replay, I know a little bit too far there, but she may have that may have went over. It didn't touch her glove.
Yeah, it'd be hard actually trying to remain inside the fence when there isn't actually a fence there, because normally you can feel that out and to take the catch.
Jessie Keach now up to bat for the Vespers, and if she can put the ball into play here, the Vespers are right back in it. Great camera angle from our team at
very close.
Spacequake Sports. If she hadn't got to the ball, you're right, Mark, it may very well have been a 4-run shot to Ada Caruana on this occasion. Just the 2. It's still earned, in my opinion, because it was a great shot,
100%.
and an outfielder couldn't have done any more than what she did. It was good to get a glove to it. Anyway, back to live action. Jessie Keach, 2 runs scored against Steph Trzynski. She'll be dark about this one. This one's a pop-up. Sarah Tonkin got one of these in the first inning and just out of reach, and she called out the third base player.
Well, I was a little bit confused there. If that goes out and then goes in, or is it because it touched the ground here? What happens on a grounder? If you roll, and it comes back in before the third base,
fair.
it's still fair. She didn't touch that with her glove then. It bounced and it went into the diamond.
Some would say that's a fair ball.
Well, I'd be complaining because that bounced, didn't touch her glove and went in fair.
It's where the ball lands, as long as it's within the infield.
Another pop-up into foul territory, this time towards first base, and Araha Munro retires Jessie Keach for the first out, just out of reach. She might have just
She
No,
may
she
touch
hit
it
it.
with her foot or something?
I think it hit her glove as it bounced up.
Really?
This is Melissa de Grief up to bat for the Vespers, enjoying her time in Australia, living with Belinda White. She's former teammates with Belle White and Steph Trzynski. So this is a battle of, well, the Dutch teammates, if you want to put it that way. I just want to mention Sarah Albino is watching at home, and she said, "Is that Laura Bond commentating?" Sure is, Sarah, and good to see that you're watching the softball. Would love to get you in the commentary box perhaps next week if you're interested. I'll wait until I see if I can get another notification from Sarah if you're still watching. Melissa de Grief up to bat now. High for a ball.
Very good first pitch there by Steph Trzynski, just sort of tailing away and taking that front corner, and then followed it up again and then got the foul down there. So you got your 2. Oh, she got her chasing on that and brings up her third K2, I think it is, for the game. So she's
dominant,
very
isn't she, Steph? Now, of course, the rules of fully loaded softball, maximum of 3 innings per night and only 2 innings per game maximum. So why not? Why not? Why not see her in the 3rd inning? We'll only see her for 2 innings in this game. So, of course, the Thunder will have a couple of backup pitches up their sleeve. But Steph Trzynski quickly into 2 outs. Kara Schultz up to bat, swing and a miss. Now, we have seen 6 batters now. 5. This is the 6th batter for 7th batter now for Steph Trzynski. So she's keeping that 3 batter per inning average intact. Shot from Schultz is going to go into foul territory. And
now the Vespers are running a risk here, Jim. They've got a runner at 2nd. They've got a runner at 3rd. They've had them sitting there now for 2 batters. You've got Steph Trzynski pitching. You need to put the ball into play and get that runner moving.
Well, just because it's fully loaded softball doesn't take the bunt off the table.
No, well, that's what we were just talking about, wasn't it? Everyone seems to be going. She gets a 4th K2 for the game. James?
Yeah, Schultz did make a slight adjustment there. She went up the handle just a little bit, but has still gone down on strike. So a quick inning, although it was 2 runs put on the board by the Vespers, courtesy of Ada Caruana, a long shot out to left field, which is opposite field for her. And Vespers are back in this game. If they can get out of this inning cheaply, it's anyone's ball game.
We got Oha Munro at 3rd, Ellie Georgie, how do I say that? Georgiaris at 2nd base, and Steph Trzynski at 1st, but she may have a designated runner.
We may see the DR come in. Jess Bushell is the DR for the Thunder, one of the reserves for the SA under-18 team. Chloe Charlton's going to lead things off. Jordan Lee still pitching for the Vespers. And we are about to get underway. Chloe Charlton in the left-handed batter's box. Watches the first one through for a called strike.
So Chloe, she's a state rep?
Under 18 state rep, yeah, she was in the under 17 team last year that were runners-up to New South Wales at National Championships, which is played right here at West Beach. And congratulations to my team of staff and volunteers that worked at that event, a community event of the year in the Sport SA Awards, back-to-back awards.
Yes, congratulations on that, James, and your team.
My pleasure to bring the softball to the people of the world. And strikeout for Jordan Lee, so well done to the Vespers, getting the first out of the inning. We've made way for Mark Kreber as Simi Dalu is a ground ball to shortstop. Maddie Cameron comes inside the line, fires it to Hayley Benathan at home. She was reaching for home plate. We might be able to see that right here on the statewide super replay, but 2 outs, a force out at home. It was a great play, Laura Bond. Good call, Laura. And we've made way for Mark Cramp, and bringing into the commentary position is Nick Green. Thank you for coming in, Nick.
Good evening, James. Good evening, Laura.
Good evening, Nicholas.
Well, 2 quick outs for the Vespers and Jordan Lee, a strikeout and a force out play from Maddie Cameron at shortstop. She is in the Travelodge Aussie Spirit team as an outfielder, but gee, she really looked like a natural there at shortstop. Another ground ball to Cameron. This time she'll fire it across to first. 3 up,
Easy
3
play.
down,
Easy
no
play.
runs. We've got a 2-3 ball game.
It is a lot closer, isn't it? This is a lot closer than the weeks previous. We missed last week, of course, so it's great to see a tight game finally. It's awesome.
Well, it will be thrilling for the Vespers to be back into this ball game because they didn't win a game last week. They have got 2 wins on the season. We see Jackie Bill trying to leg that one out, but it was an absolute rocket coming over from Maddie Cameron.
Not on Cameron's arm.
Now,
she's not going to beat that.
Now, Maddie Cameron, of course, played a lot of middle infield in her junior days. when you would have been pitching at Sturt, Laura, and of course for the state under 17 and 19 teams as well. She may have even played a little bit there in her junior Aussie squad days as well.
Yeah, it's only in recent years that she's really focused on the outfield position since her Ausrep. So, like you said, juniors and club softball at Sturt was very much second base.
Well, we haven't gone through the Vespers lineup yet. This is 8-hitter. 8-hitter. Erin Stone, I was right the first time. Never doubt yourself, James.
Just a nice off-base drop ball there.
Georgia Hooper's on deck. Then we go round to the top of the order. So Vespers desperate to get some runners, move some runners around, get some more runners on base for Maddie Cameron in the top of the order for the Vespers, and try and get some more runs on the board. Kelsey Barker's come in to pitch for the Thunder. Steph Trzynski's thrown 2, so she's only got 1 inning left for the night. Kelsey Barker has been quite a handy backup pitcher for Steph Trzynski. She's thrown 4 innings so far in this competition for 16 batters. That's only 4 batters an inning, which is terrific under anyone's standards. She is a state under 23 representative.
Great efficiency. And she's got 2 strikes on her so far. Just dribbling that one.
Erin Stone's actually been patiently watching these pitches so far, so she's seeing a few pitches. 2-2 count.
I bet you there's a big sigh of relief from the batters that Steph's moved out into first base now.
Swing and a miss, or they fouls that one off. Yeah, absolutely, Laura. When you see the ace come out of the pitching lineup, the collective sigh of relief from the offensive team.
The pressure instantly goes off, doesn't it? And you can hopefully they're going to capitalise on this now for this innings. They need to capitalise and get some runs this deep.
And on the flip side, I bet you Steph's thoroughly enjoying playing a different position other than pitching.
She's still laughing and having plenty of fun out there.
Well, I can tell you in the testing for the Stars team that was done during trials, a strikeout swinging, so Kelsey Barker gets off to a great start. Runners don't advance, but yeah, back quickly on Steph Trzynski. During the testing of the trials for the Stars team, not only was she the standout pitcher, but she was also one of the better fielders as well, agility-wise, speed and strength and accuracy in the arm as well. So she's a great all-round player. Georgia Hooper it is. Ground ball to Jess Neves. She's got to be quick here, Georgia Hooper. 1 run scores, force out of Cara Schultz at second base.
Great pickup from Steph there, just grabbing that ball at first base, not allowing that runner to advance another bag. So not a bad fielding.
Who said
position.
pitchers can't field?
Well, we just said that we were talking about agility. There it is.
On display. So 1 out, 2 out for the Vespers, and they're taking no chances. Thunder is sitting top of the table. Vespers are bottom. No chances whatsoever. They walk the marquee play, Maddie Cameron.
I'm not sure I like the walk in this format of softball. I think it takes away from the whole concept of what they're trying to achieve.
I actually completely disagree. I think it's brilliant to be able to walk the best batter and bring the next one up in the box. I think it's great. I think it adds another dynamic to the game.
Well, we will have to agree to disagree, which is nothing unusual, Nick.
No, I'm all for the walk. I think it's great. It could be put in the 2020 format almost. It's in cricket, and you swap the batters over.
Hayley Benithan, a ground ball to shortstop. Jess Neves is able to recover in time for the force out at second. Vespers did score 1 run in that inning to tie up the ball game. It's 3-all. We've got a tight clash as we go into the bottom of the third inning. We're on screen again. Kelsey Nucky, if you turn your head this way and give us a wave, you're on screen as well. So are you, Mandy Layden. So, well, fully loaded softball action. It's right at you. We have not seen a scoreboard like it so far this season. The scores of 8, 9, 10, even up to 17 runs per game so far, and it's 3-all going into the bottom of the third.
Are the players, are the coaches adapting to this format now, do you reckon, James? Can you see a little bit of a shift in their tactics maybe that are creating a lower scoring game? Because I haven't seen it yet.
I think it's a little bit of both. Players and coaches are right under the tactics of the game, and you know, we've really settled in now that we're in week 4 of 6.
Great, we know the rules now. It's making it a lot easier.
And the tactic played by the Thunder then, not taking any chances on Maddie Cameron, and it's paid off for them on this occasion. They need one run to win the game, but we will get a 3 outs for a final result, because the run scored during the game do count. If you win,
count towards your total.
if you only win by a margin of 1 to 4 runs, the opposition team can score a point on the ladder.
I was going to ask, what would you do in a tie-break?
Tie-break rules are that you start the inning with 2 outs already,
Okay.
or you only get 1 out,
Right,
rather
okay.
than the regulation 3. This pass ball could change the game, no. Good hustle from
Good
the
recovery.
Vespers. In a tie-break situation, the batting team get to pick the batter that they have, and then you start the line-up again.
Right.
Still with loaded bases, but you only get 1 out. All right, not 1 batter, but 1 out, and then the opposition get that same opportunity. This one's out of the zone, so 2 balls quickly put the Vespers behind the count here, and Jess Neves, who was the lead-off hitter for the Thunder, has a chance to win the game here.
The power completely back in Neves' hands here. 3 balls, 1 more ball for a run scored.
Pressure's on the middle.
Yeah, definitely. They're holding it tight here. You can see the pivots have actually moved in, so they're trying not to let a ball get out of the infield here. And the run doesn't score, so they make the play at home. That was excellent play. Great decision. She could have gone back and made the play at third base. She opted for the out at home, which was the right move. So no runs scored in that play. And again, the pivot's in nice and close, not letting anything get out of the infield here.
I reckon if that runner at third had have known there was a force on, she may have made a contest of it at home.
So, yeah.
It pays to know the play.
In fully loaded softball, I should hope she knows it's a force, but...
There was a little hesitation running down the line.
And 2 down, 2 out. They need to score this run, and what about her to have come up? The catcher, Tonkin. She's actually got to tonk it. There is no other option. She needs to pierce this talented pivot in Maddie Cameron. She does tend to come around pretty early, so it's definitely going between third and shortstop, I dare say. Very quick hands.
Pretty confident she wouldn't be feeling the pressure either, young Sarah.
No, she's pretty relaxed.
Good block from Hayley Benithan, perhaps a game-saving block.
Yeah.
She's been good behind the plate this innings.
Yeah, very quick onto that pass ball, and that block there possibly saving another run as well. And another block and pick up from Hayley Benithan. Fantastic catching. Pitching, on the other hand, 3 balls. She actually needs to put one close. And she does, straight down the guts.
Well, the pressure just went from bat to pitcher right there.
Hasn't
it went
it?
down the middle, and Lee Howard had a swing for that. He
Oh,
likes
he would
to
have
swing
had
with
go.
a 3-0
He would have
count.
had a go. I think she has to be looking to swing at this pitch. Oh, the trumpet sound. There was a bit of a pause there waiting for Jackie's right arm to go up.
Well,
Is there a bit of a miscount here, Jackie?
I
calling-
think she's called 2 out, catch a speed up, but it's the bottom of the 3rd inning, and the Thunder have just won the game on that base on ball. So we've never had a tiebreaker in fully loaded softball, not even the SummerSlam that Softball Australia hosted back in February got a tiebreaker, so that would have been fantastic. But Vespers are still fighting for a point here.
Exactly, yeah. We've still got points on the table here, and we've still got a great opportunity for the Thunder to capitalise with the loaded bases and a very decent batter in the box here.
Yeah, Kelsey Barker, who was pitching last inning and had a big role to play for the Thunder tonight, coming in to close for Steph Trzynski, and she only gave up the 1 run, which is fantastic in this format of the game.
Barker got to hit it out the Parker.
Well, I'm pretty sure that she's been in good form for the Thunder so far, Barker. She has hit 3 for 6 before tonight, including 1 home run. So hitting 500 with an on-base of 571. Tonight's batting performance will see her increase her averages as
Definitely, if Jackie Beale comes home.
she brings another runner across the plate for the Thunder.
As a pitcher, I would be not getting fancy here and just slotting the ball. Make them bat.
This one gets away from the catcher, a wild pitch, and so now 3 runs have crossed the plate. Ellie Georgiaris, the batter, in the box for the Thunder. And
very unlucky bounce off the fence there for Hayley Benathan, who's done such a good job to block these balls and get onto the pass balls, but just not being able to save that one. Laura, pitching-wise, you were just saying...
Slot the ball.
Slot the ball. It's not a hard game, is it?
Don't try and do anything fancy. Don't try and move the ball. Throw strikes.
Yeah, well, not throwing strikes has just cost them another 2 runs here, so it's now going out to 6-3.
Yeah, need an out right here. A ground ball will do for the Vespers because their infield has shown to be quite proficient, and there's chops at this one, it goes foul. So good skills on display from Ellie G. She's watched a few pitches. She's fouled that one off, which was close to the zone.
And they're close to getting that 4-run gap that they need to get that point. So there's still a lot up for grabs here for the batter. It's not over yet.
3 balls, 1 strike. A walk's not going to hurt the Vespers too much here.
Not with Steph on deck, so...
Pick off attempt at third base. So Hayley Benathan trying to make something work out there. They really do need to get out of here, the Vespers, so they can put a point on the board, on the ladder, which actually sees them the bottom of the ladder at the moment on 6 points. So it'll be a handy point to achieve, whereas...
Step out to right field.
Good
they
catch
the
from
ball.
Aaron Stone, and that'll end the game. So some great action here in the first game, our lowest scoring game of the competition so far. The Thunder still running out victors, 6 runs to 3. They'll score 3 points and go further ahead on the table here. Fully loaded softball in week 4. Vespers will pick up 1 point. Well, we're not too far away from the next game, probably about 10 minutes or so. I'll be able to bring Mark Cramp back into the commentary position so I can go get one of our very special guests, of course, franchise owner from Scoots Cafe West Beach. And so that will be coming up very soon. So I don't know if you've seen where Mark is at the moment, guys. It's
no, I reckon he's got cramp or something. He's out of action. I haven't seen him.
Absolutely sensational. Look, I just want to take this opportunity to thank the Spacequake sports team. They're delivering some terrific softball action. We're not far away from the next game. It'll be the Nairne Angels versus the Emmsee Sportswear Thunder. I just saw Ros McGarren, who's from Emmsee Sportswear, in the crowd. So we might see if we can get her in for a chat as well. But we've
got a special guest later on this evening as well, which would be great after this game.
Yep. So
yeah,
2
beautiful.
special guests, franchise owners, as well as, of course,
player special guest.
Travelodge Aussie Spirit representative Steph Trzynski from the Thunder. Guys, good opportunity to go on to our Facebook page. We are live and interactive. We're going all around Australia and around the world. So if you're watching from home, let us know where you're watching from. Leave us a comment as well and we'll be able to get to them online. We've got a few to catch up on because the action is so quick during the game. We didn't get much time of it. Justina Adams is watching from Port Pirie tonight. Her and her 2 daughters not able to come up tonight, but hello to Justina. Thunder have got over the line for you there. Looking a bit dusty. It is a little dusty. That's Monica watching from the Riverland, of course. Matthew Schultens watching from the Netherlands. G'day to you, Chewy. Dione Brittle says, hey Bondi, good to hear you on the game. So,
hey,
dribble.
Tamika Penglace, good to hear you out there. Laura, you seem to be a favourite at the moment. Laura, best commentary team in the business. Justin Adams, is some of your famous comedy relief crampy? Go the Vespers and the Thunder. So that one's for you, Mark. You can come in and join us as I'm going to grab, I'll make way for you, Mark, in just a moment. So hello, Justina and Justin. Justin's got a foot in both camps. Here we go. We got Millie Sims. Great knowledge from the lady behind the mics. I'm telling you, Laura. I'm getting some dry cleaning advice from Jerome Vanocchi, who is the best real estate agent in the business, Jerome Vanocchi, and not a bad softball player as well. Kel O'Brien's watching. Scotty Watson's watching. We can see Kathy Lambert. She's in Thailand at the moment with the Australian wheelchair basketball team. So hopefully you're doing well in Thailand at the moment, Kathy. Nicole Ween's watching, so she'll be waiting for the Nairne Angels to get underway.
Turns out Kelsey Nucky's watching as well.
Kelsey Nucky is watching it as well. So hello to everyone who's watching from home. Say good day. Tell us where you're watching from. I'm still waiting to hear from the fabulous man, Matt Torpy. So if you are watching, Matt, can't wait to hear from you, bud. Okay, Mark Cramp's going to come in for me. So Laura and Nick, have a look at the camera, talk and amongst yourselves while Mark and I make the transition.
Okay. Yeah. Did you hang the washing out tonight, Nick?
No, I didn't have time.
Oh, come back, James.
Well, just fill this dead air with
All right.
Domestic duties.
Okay, so fill me in. What did I miss?
What did you miss?
Tell me, how did it end up?
You actually missed one of the tighter ball games we've seen in this format. It was 6-3 in the end, but down to pretty much even in the last innings. And it was done by, Laura mentioned it, pitching, I think, has definitely won or lost that game. It's actually turned the game around by just not slotting strikes in that crucial period of the game where you can't afford to walk a player because that means runs. You can't afford a pass ball because that means runs, and that's what we saw.
Well, Nick, earlier on in the call, we were talking about the pitches. Now, Laura and I talked about maybe the short game. It should have been an option here. The Vespers were 2 runs behind. It was only 4-2 after the second. And so to 6-3, they got to the extra 1, but they let Thunder get in. If they play the short game...
Expecting to see a bunt.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it.
No, 100%. That's what Laura and I were saying.
Yeah, expecting to see a bunt there. I was sitting on the sideline watching, and all of a sudden you just assume that it's bunting. And even the catcher called the corners and said, watch the short, watch it for the short play.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do to generate a run. Put the pressure back on the field, and if you put it down third base line, third base is still going to make the throw to first. You've still got an opportunity to take that base from third to home. There's a lot of there's a lot of room for error if you put a bunt down. And a good bunt.
Well, that's exactly what we said, wasn't it, Laura? You've got to put the pressure back on the players. In this format of the game, and you've got such strong pitchers in Trzynski and Jesse Druitt, you've got to put the ball in play. You've got the likes of Matty Cameron, who don't normally, and Bell White, they don't normally make errors. You've got Jess Neves out there, you've got Jordan Lambert out there. But if you get the ball slowly rolling out...
It comes down to sacrificing an out to generate a run. It's as simple as that. And they had no outs, and there was no bunt put down with a runner on 3 and a runner on 2, so there was no force play. So it gave the runners that option to, to hesitate, to come off the bag, to see what's going to happen at 1 and then go. They had all the options if they put the bunt down. What they don't have an option with is if they don't get a ball in play, there's no option.
I think the interesting part is when the bunt was required, it was in a traditional format softball match. And perhaps the coaches weren't quick to switch their thought process from the fully loaded format of just hit away back to put a bunt down.
Well, this game's a learning curve for the players, the coaches, and us as well, and probably you at home who have watched the SummerSlam and probably a little bit more advanced than me. But you're right. You got to be able to switch from the traditional form of game to the fully loaded form of game. And if you can do that, you're going to be a successful team. Short game, long ball. You got to pick when you want to go long. The runner at second, runner at third, nobody down. Why not just try the bunt?
It depends who's in the box, especially. But I mean, if you had Bell White or Steph Trzynski up in the box, would you be bunting them?
No.
Do you know
Well,
what?
you look at the stats here. You got Bell White. She's batting 8-18 and I think you guys may have spoken about that. 8-18.
Oh.
She's got 9 from 11. She's got 5 home runs. I mean, if you don't mind, you wouldn't be putting the bunt on, and if you do, you don't know either for. Well, don't confuse the situation.
Of surprise.
It's the only thing she hasn't done yet, isn't it?
Exactly. Good point. So. Let us know at home, what in those scenarios, in this form of game. Send us a message. Tell us what you think.
Just say bunt or hit. Bunt or hit. It doesn't have to be much.
Is it an option?
Put a comment down.
You got to put the play back on. Now, you got the Thunder over there taking it very casual. They got the warm-up. The Angels, I was just watching over there, and James is giving me the signal to move in. I got yelled at last week for being too close to the camera.
I can't suck it in.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yep, I'm taking over from Laura. Now, Nick, I'm going to get you to make way next.
Can do.
For Hayley from West Beach Scoots Cafe, West Beach. Thank you.
I noticed
Nick?
Hayley's got empty hands. I was expecting a coffee or some of the best coffee in town, and it's come empty-handed.
Now, I've just turned the chair just a little bit because we're on camera. You can see us on the screen here. Ladies and gentlemen, Hayley from Scoots Cafe, West Beach. Best coffee in town. And thank you so much for joining us. You're a franchise owner of a softball team. How's that feel?
Very exciting. Very proud.
Yeah, and now I must admit I'm a regular in at Scoots Cafe, and I'll never forget the day that I'm just sitting there with Kelsey, or we've just ordered our lunch, and he come over and he said, "How's it going?" I said, "Well, Farris, I need a franchise owner for a softball team," and he was so quick to jump on. No doubt you had a say in it as well, and bang, right here, right now, we've got the Vespers. So the Vesper is a type of a scooter.
That's right.
And so that's where we got the name from, derived from the name of the cafe. Did you vote for the name as well for the Vespers after
Absolutely.
after I gave a bit of a lead in there, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Vespers, they go fast. So
You've got a very quick team. You've got a very quick team out there, and you've got some very, very powerful hitters in Maddie Cameron. Is your marquee player, and she's really turned it on, and she had a cracking game just before too. She made some great outs from shortstop there. So you're in good hands, and you got some very, very good quality women wearing your uniform.
and we're very proud. They look great. Uniforms look really good.
Yeah.
Now, Hayley, were you a softball player yourself in your younger days?
No, this is my first experience at watching a softball game, first game to watch, so it's all new to me.
Now, originally from Queensland,
Yes, that's right.
you met your wonderful husband Farris on Emirates
That's right.
as a flight,
Flight attendant, cabin
yeah.
crew in Dubai, Emirates, yeah.
and you decided on Adelaide.
That's right. It's the best place to be.
Awesome, it is
Got
the
the
best
hills,
place to
the
be.
beach, softball.
And a terrific location and for your cafe, of course, on Burbridge Road,
That's right.
part
yep.
of West Beach Village.
Yep, 703 Burbridge Road, just around the corner. Come on down.
Well, like I said, best coffee in West Beach. Now, a couple of the girls have been making regular stops off now, haven't they, before their games and
Yep,
trainings?
definitely. We've got a few extra regulars now.
Part of this format and part of this franchise will be sort of televised, and we do hold a lot of championships down here. So don't be afraid if you get an influx of patrons or volunteers or spectators coming in for that quick cheeky coffee or something to eat before. When's the next tournament here, James? Where are we?
Probably state championships.
State championships coming up very soon, so we may even give that a plug and make sure the Scoots Cafe is well known around town.
Yeah, well, we're open every day, 7 days a week.
You don't get a break. James is not your boss by any chance. He's a very hard
He's a hungry man.
Where's Kelsey? She would attest to that. But
Why are you laughing? What's impressed me tonight, all three franchise owners are here supporting their sides. I can see Daniel Waters for the Nairne Angels, and in the crowd as well is Grant and Ros McCarran from Emmsee Sportswear, and of course yourself and Farris making it out. A lot better weather as well. It's a much better night to be a spectator here at West Beach. Can get a little cold some nights and a little bit windy, but tonight we've got the best of both worlds in that case. There's no wind, and the sun's still shining, so it's still a little bit warmer. No doubt I'll put the Kathmandu on a little bit later, but
if you're listening, Kathmandu, we could all do with one of those. You're from Queensland, or your husband?
Yes, I'm from Queensland.
Whereabouts?
Brisbane.
No,
Yeah.
I was born in Toowoomba. Don't hold that against me. Hello, everyone. In Toowoomba, they have a good classic, the Toowoomba Classic, I think, up there. So
Toowoomba Dodgers.
Toowoomba Dodgers.
To Nick Reese and the team, if you're watching, it's just the lads there at Toowoomba are a terrific softball team. Hey, we're pretty close to the action. Hayley, stick with us, all right, because this is fast-paced action. So we'll try and get to you in between plays and pitches, and then we'll bring in another one of our commentators, so you can just slip away a little bit here. I saw you brought your son out as well tonight. Is it his first time
Yep,
to see
first
softball
time.
as well?
Absolutely. Might have to start him off playing some T-ball.
And here she is, the hardest working person at softball SA, apart from you, James, and apart from you. Bringing over the team sheets, we have got Sophie Hoyle on deck, the West Torrens slugger. And I say that every week, and I put the kibosh on her. This girl can hit the ball very, very long way.
Pretty sure she's leading the Angels batting averages as well, and that is why she's up the top of the order for the Angels. Jordan Lambert's on deck with Pippa Atkins hitting 3. The Thunder starting off with Araha Munro pitching, 2 Sarah Tonkin, Kelsey Barker at first base, with Ellie Georgiaris at second, Sophie Roberts at third, Jess Neves at shortstop, and the outfield Jackie Beale, Simi Dhaliwal and Jess Bushell.
Got the 4th best batting average in this competition as the pass ball comes home, and there we go. We have
Chelsea
Robinson sneaks in there on the pass ball to bring up the first run for the Angels.
Yeah, Chelsea Robinson batting down the order a little bit. She's hit 2 home runs for the Angels in this season so far. So we watched the statewide Super replay and the pass ball scoring the Angels, taking the force off. So runners at second base is Mackenzie Ween and third base Regan Lambert. Now, Mark, Regan Lambert playing for the Glenelg Rebels Softball Club last night, hit a grand slam.
Wow.
To help the Glenelg Rebels over the line in that game.
Well, that would have been 230 feet, 235 feet, James, and we're looking at 180 feet home run in this modified version of the game. So you can see the cones that are in a little bit here, Harley. It's 180 feet. Normally, they've got to put it over the 235-foot home rome. There's a couple of girls here that do it and do it with ease. They always are looking for that 180 in the fully loaded.
And this is one of them. Hey, Hayley, have a look at the screen here. Who's that handsome fella in the front row?
Oh, that's my son.
Sophie Hoyle for the Angels. Watches that one on the outside for a ball 4 walk. Brings up Jordan Lambert up to bat, and she is the Angels marquee player and team captain, Travelodge Aussie Spirit representative. One of my favourites, Hayley.
James's now fiance. So there's no bias call. James goes very quiet and very nervous in these positions. Jordan Lambert, I had a quick chat to her just before this game. She wants to hit a home run. She said to me, "Why can't I do it?" I said, "You can do it." And this is going to be the time. For you, Hayley, you watch this. Loaded bases.
On the outside edge. Neville Lawrence isn't going to do her any favours after he hears that she's engaged. This team, though, Hayley, the Nairne Angels, has come about from a men's softball team that wanted to give back to the sport, and when the opportunity arose, they jumped at the chance. So that's where the Nairne Angels has come from, which is a small town in the hills.
Oh, lovely.
And Jordan Lambert fires that out to right field. Good pickup, and that'll score. That it has brought home
Sister Regan Lambert.
Yes,
sorry, and advancing all the other runners to second and third. Runners did hold up because there was a chance it could have been caught out at right field by Jess Bushell, and she did very well to stop it off one bounce.
It was a good pickup. Yeah, the throw was a little bit loose as it came in, and took the pressure off as it hit the ground. But you're right, everyone held out. Pippa Atkins up to bat now. Be very interesting. I had a chat to Pippa a couple of weeks ago about her batting stance, and well, today she's decided to dig in, James, and not do that left-hand running bunt.
Yeah, she's right up the front of the box, which suggests that she's not bunting this time around. Left-handed box. You get a bit of a running start, Hayley, sometimes when that way that you've broken that inertia, so you can get over to first base a little bit quicker than what you might from a right-handed batter's box, where both feet are planted firmly into the ground, so you could get a solid base and get a strong piece of the ball. Does that make any sense to you at all?
Totally.
Crushes this one opposite field. It's high, it's long, it's over for a grand slam home run to Pippa Atkins. 2 runs had already been scored for the Angels, and Atkins will clear the bases, scoring another 4 and putting 6 on the board.
Wow, Jim. And there it was as the Angels celebrate. And then look at the fantastic camera work as we follow the Angels back into the dugout. I'm not even going to take credit for that because I did say to Pippa Atkins a couple of weeks ago, why don't you just dig in and have a swing? And look what she did tonight.
She doesn't know the home run celebration. Maybe she didn't think she was going to hit any, but she's hit a Grand Slam home run here. We'll get the score bug corrected. It's actually the Angels versus Thunder, and it is 6-0. A fast start to the Angels on this occasion. And Jenny Gray is the batter up to bat. So Thunder getting a bit of a taste of their own medicine here. They have been the highest scoring team in the competition so far. They've put 82 runs on the board. Angels just the 63 runs. And your team, Hayley, the Vespers, aren't too bad at scoring runs, but they've given up a few more runs than what they've scored. So they're sitting third on the ladder. But no doubt about it, they put up a great show in game one tonight. What did you think, Hayley, your first time at softball? It was a very tight game coming into that last inning. It was a tied ball game at the start of the inning as Munro gets her first victim, a strikeout to Jenny Gray.
But it's a very fast game, isn't it? It's very hard to keep up with what's going on, being the first time watching it.
Look, I've been involved with softball now for 28, 29 years, I think it was. I think I was 14 when I first started playing. So if you do your quick maths, I'm 36. And the first week that we tried to call this game, we were lost. James has been playing for 110 years. He has seen every format of the game. He knows every player. He knows every play. He was stuck for words. We couldn't keep up. Could we, James? We've settled into a rhythm now where we're trying to rotate out a little bit and just give everyone a bit of a head clearer. But for the first time, you watching this, it would be a little bit tricky, but it's a good spectacle because things are moving quickly.
Yeah, I was exhausted. I was mentally drained at the end of the first week. Second and third week, I had a little bit more help at the commentary desk as well. We brought in Nick and Laura, and last week we had a special guest commentator in Georgia Bevan, AFLW Premiership superstar and former Stars player. Stars is our Open Women's State team. Who played for the Gillies Shield in January. That's what this competition's also about, giving preparation to our state representatives. So we've got state under 18s, state under 23s, and our Open Women's team all out there represented tonight. Harriet Rashid is part of the under 18 crew. She's up to bat now. So, Hayley, let's get back to your knowledge of the game. You would have had a go at school at some stage, wouldn't you?
I did many, many years ago.
Do you have a sport of choice?
Netball.
Netball, okay. Well, I can't wait for the end of this season. We've already talked about it. I know you're a little bit excited about it. We're going to present you with a Vespers playing top, so you can hang it proudly at Scoots Cafe in West Beach. Great swing, but a miss there from Harriet Rashid. So back-to-back strikeouts for Munro.
And you play netball locally, or
No. Back in high school.
No, you're not playing anymore?
I haven't played any sports for many years.
Big shout out to my girls as well. I don't want to brag, but we have just been put up to Division 2. I coach a Year 5 netball team and been put up undefeated this year, so we're pretty proud of the girls.
Mickey Collins is the new hitter up to bat, part of the under 18 crew. She is as quick as they come. She's a handy infielder, middle infielder, but can play the outfield as well.
I'll tell you who's doing not a bad job at the moment is R.R. Munro. Like, we've talked about this multiple times. It normally takes about a half an innings. You've got the likes of Steph Drzinski and Jessie Drezick that just come in and throw 100 Ks an hour straight off the bat. Now, R.R. has sort of had a couple of hits off her, and now she's starting to warm up and starting to hit that high 90s.
Mixing up the pace a lot, isn't she?
Yeah, 100%. And now she's starting to find her groove. And there you go. She's just got her third K2.
Strikes out the side, the last three batters.
Yep.
And gets the Thunder out of a bit of a jam because they've come out firing the Angels with Sophie Hoyle getting a base on balls, Jordan Lambert rifling a single out to right field, and Pippa Atkins a grand slam home run. So just faced the six batters that gave up 6 runs. So how unfortunate can you be? We're going to be on camera again. Hayley, we're going to let you go in a moment. So thank you so much for joining us. Hayley is part of the team at Scoots Cafe West Beach. Do you want to say hello to anyone, the rest of the crew there out at Scoots Cafe, or some family maybe watching at home?
just want to say hello to all of our regulars in West Beach, you know. Hope you're having a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, 7:30 for a hot coffee and all day brekkie.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We can't put this competition on without the franchise owners, and we're just so grateful for the support that we do get. So hopefully everyone at home who's watching, who's local, and when you make your next visit down to West Beach, stop off at Burbridge Road, West Beach Village, 703 West Beach, and it is Scoots Cafe West Beach. And thank you again so much. Say hello to Faris and Hayley. I was going to say Harris, that's my name. And hopefully you'll get the best service in West Beach, no doubt about it. So thank you once again, Hayley. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope you've enjoyed your first softball experience.
It's been an awesome experience.
Okay, pick-off attempt to second base. That's a great play. The umpires are just deliberating at the moment.
They're trying to work out who's got what. We got that on the Spacequake Sports replay.
Well, Belinda White, who is base coaching for the Thunder tonight, has made that call of safe. We've got Dave.
Watch the replay here, James, as we're coming in. Jordan Levitt covers fantastic. I think she got back. She got back.
Did she get her arm there? Did she get the hand? We need a bit of a close-up, don't we?
Great angle from the team at Spacequake Sports, and just a slight delay in back to the action here. Let's watch Chelsea Robertson get into a great transition. Throws it over from a very compact position. Great angle.
No, she's in.
Just got
She's
back in.
And that looks like it is caught. Look at that.
Great play. Mackenzie Ween takes a great catch, backing back on the line, denying the Thunder a grand slam. Sarah Tonkin it was, who has scored the runner from third in a sacrifice fly. So great base running there from Jess Bushell. I was sitting right next to her mum on Friday night at the SA Sports Award. Hello to Selena if you're watching. Sophie Roberts is the new hitter up to bat. So one batter, one out, one run. Runners at first and second. Bunt attempt. She's hit while she's in the box. But let's go back to that catch from Mackenzie Ween out at left field. For mine, one of the players of this competition so far. She was coming in as an under-23 representative, but she's hit a home run, she's hit a ground ball double, she's got a whole bunch of RBIs, and she just takes a great catch out there at left field.
Yeah, as you can see, James, I've had my finger on her name here and waiting for you to finish talking, because I agree with you. It's little plays like that. When I say little plays, spectacular plays like that cover ground, and you just take 4 runs like that and only give up 1. That's fantastic. Good hit too, by the way.
It's great to see some of these players coming up in this format and providing not only a great entertainment, but just a great game. It's fantastic. Great skills.
Well, they're pumped at the moment. The Angels are a good group of girls. I just saw them training and warming up out there. They look very relaxed tonight. They know that Belle White's not playing, so they've probably got a little bit more...
a little bit excited, a little bit
less pressure.
A little bit more pep in the step.
But they know who's waiting in the wings of Steph Trzynski to come on in that third innings, and she'll make them work for their runs.
That's exactly right. They need to get as many runs on the board early as possible, the Angels.
Well, Jessie Dresick pitching against club teammate Sophie Roberts, both from the Walkerville Cats Softball Club. They had a good win last night against the Sturt Falcons, which will put them clear on second and in touch with top of the table, West Torrens.
It's a great little hit.
Goes right side and just gone foul.
No, quickly, James, we've touched on this before, and Nick as well. We've touched on this before about, you look at the difference in the pitching arrangement or the way that the pitcher starts in this format. You look at Jessie through against West Torrens the other day. It was a 0-all against Steph Trzynski. They battled hard, and it was a fantastic game. They couldn't get a run off her. You play a format like this, they go after, and there you go again. They're not afraid to swing the bat, and the force to 3. So very clever there by Jordan Lambert calling out for the ball.
Yeah, definitely getting the lead runner there as well. So runners on first and second here for the Thunder.
Yeah, so I was just saying they go after Jessie in a format like this, don't they? And in a normal game, you sort of take your time. This will adapt into a normal format of the game, and they'll start going after these pitches. You know, the likes of Trzynski and Neves goes hard after that one.
And that's where you take it back to it being in the format of 2020 cricket, where you don't have the innings or two to warm in and you know, warm up, see the pitches, you know, take as many pitches as you can to get used to the speed. You don't have the time. You've got to be going in and hitting just like that.
Oh.
Neves gets it into the gap, and the right fielder Regan Lambert tries to make a play at first, but Neves is too quick, and the bases remain loaded for Araha Munro. Statewide super replay.
Talk us through it here, Greenie.
Yeah, just a little bit of a late swing. She was cramped up there on the hand, so that's why the ball's just pushed out between second and first base, and Lambert not able to make the play in time at first base. Nice bit of speed, 107 there. Beautiful pace.
Yeah, she throws them very, very hard. I just had a bit of a giggle with her. Like I said, I was talking to her, and I said to them, they go after you pretty
I'd
hard.
giggle too if I was talking to her.
Yeah, if she's talking to me, you mean.
Oh.
So, as they chase this one, the force is for the out. There we
Beautiful
go, makes
play.
the play. So that holds them to 1 run. So after the first innings, the Angels lead 6 runs to 1.
So you were saying, Mark, what was Jesse talking about?
We were just having a chat. I said, they go after you in this format, don't they? I said, you threw a fantastic game just on Saturday. I said, you know, what a great game it was. And then she said to me, I don't know what it is. And she says, I'm not hitting my spots or something in this format. They're going after her. And she said to me, the harder I throw them in, the harder they're coming back. And I said, well, are you mixing them up? Because we see you started off last week with a 109-kilometre-an-hour fastball straight down the tube. The next one, bang, it was hit.
Yeah.
You're right. Change it up a little bit. Lee Hull is a massive advocate for the change-up and likes to call
change
them.
of pace. I think taking a little bit off here is going to take some off the hitter as well. It's going to throw the rhythm out, especially girls that are coming up. That's the junior girls. We just saw before with a couple of juniors at bat. You know, that it's a bit of pressure for them to come up and face this pitching at 107, you know, and 109. That's hard. So making it, stuffing with their rhythm, I think, is a key play for a pitcher here.
Guys, we'll get straight back into the action. Only 1 minute changeover between innings, but I just want to do a shout out to everyone watching back in Moffat in Scotland. I thought a Moffat is when you stop drinking. A Moffat.
No, that's a hangover.
We're just speaking with Mandy Layden, who's part of the team here at Softball SA, and she knows there's a few people watching back home in Moffat. So if you're watching in Moffat, give us a shout out and we'll say g'day to you. Back to the action.
Hey, tell you what, this is an exciting at bat here, James. This is the inaugural home run hitter for the Nairne Angels in Chelsea Robinson. Up to bat.
I'm about to lift my kilt here. I'm pretty excited. I want to see her get one out there into the field and get some runs on the board.
You've got the stats at your fingertips there, Mark. I'm pretty sure she's red hot at the moment. Chelsea Robinson for the Angels. Pops this one up. It's going to land in between the gap in no man's land. Jackie Bill, Jess Neves goes right in between them. Harriet Rashid turns third. She didn't break stride. She is punched out at home. So a great relay from the Thunder. Angels do score 1 on the hit to Chelsea Robinson. Harriet Rashid was thrown out at home. Let's watch the statewide super replay. A perfectly placed shot from Robinson.
Wasn't it? Right between Beale and Neves there.
Great backup from Simi Dhaliwal at centre field. And a terrific camera angle and well done blocking
foot on
the plate.
Foot on the plate, James. You caught it well. Chelsea Robinson, we were just talking, batting 500. 2 home runs, 6 from 12.
Yeah, that slide there probably just needed to be out and around, but I still don't think she was going to get there with the way Tonkin set up for that. That was beautiful catching.
Coach Young's done a fantastic job here. Look who's up to bat now. You got Regan Lambert batting 6-6-7.
Holy moly.
No home runs. A couple of doubles.
We just mentioned it. She hit one last night, a grand slam for the Sturt Rebels. Glenelg Rebels Softball Club.
Sturt Falcons.
Glenelg Rebels.
And Glenelg Rebels.
She hit the grand slam for the Glenelg Rebels last night against the Hills Heat. So she's in red hot form. No home runs so far in the fully loaded softball.
Leaving that one
high for ball 4 and loading the bases for the red hot Mackenzie Ween, who does have a home run on this season.
Yeah, Mackenzie Ween looking all right too. Some good stats there. And I think 500 is, you know, over 500. You're looking good, aren't you?
Well, if you're not hitting 500 these days, James, are you really trying?
Oh, slower pitch. That's what we needed. 92 Ks, just slow, a little bit off the plate and outside. Enough to make Mackenzie go, hang on a minute, I can hit this, and it's dropped underneath her.
Yep, Mackenzie Wynn having a free swing at that one with loaded bases. As she gets up to this one as well, it goes out to left field. Another Texas leaguer is going to drop in and score a run. Mackenzie Wynn's season continues.
Jackie
Speaking of
Bill
red
should
hot
be sick of
plays.
these bladers.
Well, how's the tactics in the defense? Let's watch the statewide super replay as you guys can talk over the tactics that these outfielders need to have. I mean, do you stand on the fence and try and rob a home run, or do you come in and maybe have a play for that one that's going to drop in?
Yeah, I think with the Angels lead, I think you've got to be more defensive, don't you? You've probably got to be in and dropping and getting anything that's coming short. And anything that goes over, let's hope it's a home run and a good hit.
Well, they have scored 2 this innings, the Angels, so the score is 8-1 in favour of the Angels, and we'll get David Muggleton's attention and he'll correct that as the
Just a
loaded
pass ball.
bases will...
Right,
the
comes
force
in.
will take off. Yeah, Chelsea Robinson crosses the plate for the 3rd run
So
of the
it makes
inning.
it
It is
9-1.
now 9-1, and Sophie Hoyle up to bat. Geez, I've made a couple of mistakes in this innings, haven't I? The pace of the game just continues. It's non-stop action here, fully loaded
Hoyle, the
softball.
pressure off. It's no longer loaded bases. A runner at 2 and 3. She can relax. She can bat.
I'll tell you what's an interesting stat that I'm just sort of looking through here. The Angels have only had 8 base on balls, opposed to the Thunder have had 15 base on balls
Nearly
throughout
double.
the time. Yeah, so they'll either pitch around the Thunder and they try not to give them too much, but the interesting thing is the intentional base on balls for the Thunder is 4 and only 1 for the Angels.
Are 3 of those for Bell White, the intentional walks?
I think
Well,
they
it's
are.
funny you say that. There's 3 intentional walks for Bell White, 1 for Jordan Lambert and 1 for Steph Trzynski.
Well, Araha Munro just changes the pace up of that one and gets a strikeout victim. And just what the Thunder needed to settle into this second inning. They were already chasing 5 runs. Now they're behind by 8. And great pitching from Araha Munro gets the first out
It's that
of the inning.
Change of pace we were talking about earlier. She's averaging in the 90s there and drops it back to 67 Ks and boom, K2.
There
And
it
boom! No K2 there.
Holy dooly, that come off the 235-foot fence. She'll be very happy, Jordan Lambert, as she rolls around third base. And the girls will get around. That's her first for the Angels. Confident catch there too.
I was expecting more noise out of the celebration, but the silence got me as well. That was great. That was good. I enjoyed that. I'll tell you who's not enjoying it. That seagull that nearly got copped out there. That flew off in a big hurry as that ball came careering into the fence.
Let's have a look at the replay of this home run celebration. You wouldn't want anyone else but Jesse Dressick at the
to
front
catch
there
it.
to
No,
catch it.
no, the old trust exercise.
Didn't have to fall very far. Great pickup by Neves.
Neves gets it. That is an out.
Yes.
That is a good play. That was needed by the Thunder, that play from Neves. Great throw, just beating the runner.
Terrific play at shortstop from Neves. She stayed low on the ball. It came off like an absolute shotgun. There, the pace of the ball, a hard hit from the confident player of the moment, Pippa Atkins, because she'd hit a home run in the first inning. Lakes that one, and a good play from Neves at shortstop. Well, guys, we just saw a home run to Jordan Lambert, extending that Angels lead. They're leading 12-1 now. So,
Is it getting out of reach yet? And this is going to be interesting to see how they pitch. Let's see how Jessie starts to throw. Is she going to start to throw around those better batters, giving them no opportunity?
Well, Jurassic's only got 1 inning left to pitch in this game. So this will be any runs that the Thunder can get in this game will be a bonus because, the Angels will have to go to their second or third string after the completion of this inning.
So, Jessie, is she going to go hard from the start and try and blow as many away while she can? That would be my tactic, I reckon. Guys, I'd use her pace while you got it.
Don't want to show my favouritism at all, but if we were just to go back to that home run from Jordan Lambert, did you see that ball bounce off the top of the fence?
Did you mean from your fiance? Is it?
No. Pay credit where credit's due. And while I'm talking about credit, I don't want to brag or anything, but I was talking to Jordan before about batting, and she wanted to hit a home run. I talked her through it, and look what she did, 235 feet. Pippa Atkins has bombed one as well. That's two people I've spoken to before the game, and I think I don't want to celebrate too early, but I did have a chat to Chelsea Robinson as well. So
what's Morgan Young actually doing then?
He's just looking. Muscle Man Morgs is just looking pretty.
I saw him eating an old chicken in the car park, but apart from that, I haven't seen him.
It's all about protein.
Yeah.
Unless it's got KFC written on the side of the bucket. No, the girls are gelling well. Each team are gelling well, aren't they?
Look, they're having a lot of fun, and
100%.
that's the whole idea.
That's what it's about.
All you're seeing are smiles out there for Miles, and they're all enjoying it. I think they're enjoying playing with each other. They're normally playing against each other, and they're enjoying playing against each other as well if their normal players are playing on the opposition team. So I think they're getting a lot out of it.
Yeah, 100%. I do believe that the Thunder are missing.
Rings up the K2.
Yep.
Neville, no chance of you getting away without being yelling out. That was a big call. I loved it. Nev, so did he. Very serious.
So we got Oha Munro at first base, Jessie Neves at second, and Sophie Roberts at third. Or have they got the DR? No. Or is it Chloe? Yeah, it's Chloe at third. So brought the DR in. Welcome back,
bases.
Laura.
Yes, thanks for having me back. Thought I'd bring back my quality one-liners.
No, I appreciate that. I can just talk you through the Angels' first two innings if you like. Basically, I've got them 12 runs by a quick little chat, 2 home runs, and we've got them there.
So the win's your win?
Well, I don't want to brag or anything like that, but Jessie has thrown a couple of good pitches, and the girls, Jordan Lambert and Pippa Atkins, have had a couple of good swings. Everyone's playing their part. Regan Lambert was out there is out there at right field and cut that one off before and almost
plugging
played
up
the play.
a couple of holes.
Yeah, 100%.
The Thunder really need to get a ball in play. I'll tell you what.
This is a good time for it, eh?
The pressure is on the batting side only. There is no pressure on Jessie. She obviously wants to hold on for this innings so she can do her part and get out of there. And that was a beautiful pitch. Not grabbing enough of the edge though for Nev.
Am I pronouncing this correctly? Is it Michella Collins? Michelle or Michella?
Could be McKellar.
McKellar, that's probably.
Collins,
Well,
yeah.
she's fielding in a very good position too to cover this.
Oh, that was a hard hit.
Yes.
That's generated a run.
Oh,
and
the home comes home. Run it. Jeff Neves does not give him a chance.
That's got to be out at third.
Munro slides into third for the first out. They've given up 2 runs, but they'll take that out as we watch the replay. That fired through under first bases. As and Regan Lambert's there again to cover it up to try and take that out. Very, very difficult play, but made the out at third base.
Yeah, Lambert with that play probably should have put the eye line up there and just looked up and seen what was going on.
Coming home? Yep.
You're never going to make that play at first base. The run's already there. You've done all the effort to get to the ball. Now look up, and you're probably throwing it home there.
But again, Laura, this is that whole transition of fully loaded to a normal game. If that was a normal game, you would have fired at home, wouldn't you? Covered that second run. But here you go, I might get the out and then roll a double, or the opportunities are plenty because the bases are loaded.
Absolutely. And there were just runners going everywhere then, so there were plenty
It was
of
all
options.
over the place. It's a nice pitch there from Jessie, bringing up another strike. Runner on 1.
I was just over with the umpires and we were having a chat about Regan Lambert's at bat last night. Came up to bat, 1 run up and loaded bases, and a perfect example of where this format of the game really comes into play in the traditional format, coming up with a great hit to score some runs late in the game.
So there's one out here. We're looking at, she's just shaping to slap here, and she's not affected the steal.
Oh, Jordan copped it in the shin here and dropped the ball. And time's been called.
She made the play, so I dare say the call will stand. She will be out, I reckon.
Well, Neville, the umpires are going to have a quick chat because I think the ball may have come out as she rolled off the players. We watch a statewide super replay here. She gets a good jump, Perfect throw too by Chelsea
That
Robinson.
throw off the knees.
And look at that. And Jordan Lambert's right there to pick it up. Plenty of time. You are gone.
She's out cold.
Bang. And
That's cleats in the shin, I reckon.
he says, you're out.
Yeah.
We'll have a chat. Well, it'll be interesting to see. The ball may have come out as a secondary movement.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you've got to go with the original call there of out, because she has made the play, and this has happened as a subsequent movement. You're exactly right. Chelsea Robinson, that throw off the knees was spectacular.
Boy, oh boy, that could have been. That's very dangerous. If your cleats stay in the ground and someone kicks you there, it's what do you call that? A tibia, or a fibia, or a shin bone?
A round of applause for Jordan as she's going to come off and have a little bit of a check of that. I reckon she's smiling though, as if she wouldn't be. But yeah, it's probably due some ice. The runner not being called out here, so it looks like she's going to stay at second base. So
Well,
the call's safe in the end.
Coach may be questioning that because that was a secondary movement where the ball was come out, but they're standing fast. There's a fair bit of experience out there.
The problem is the metal cleats, when they actually hit the skin or hit the shin, they can do some damage.
Yeah, they certainly can. We've seen plenty of blood in the dirt before from the medals.
Well, it was a fantastic throw. Great play, but great sportsmanship shown by everybody there, and that's what it's all about. Sorry. So that leaves the runner at second. The runner at second only.
The best part was they paused the stop clock, didn't they?
Oh, and then Jessie fires that one through at 103 k's an hour to get the third out. She could have done that the last pitch.
Yeah, not in time for poor Jordan, is it, really? Oh, dear. Well, we've seen it all, that's for sure. What an inning.
Yeah.
What an inning. Not enough for the Thunder. They did not bounce back at all. Jessie doing the job on the mound to hold them there. To what, 2 runs was that came in?
2 runs.
Yeah, perfect. So that's exactly what they would have wanted to get out of Jessie, the Angels, is that nice tight innings. Now they've got to transition into the next pitcher. Who's that likely to be, Mark, for the Angels? Who's going to come in and relieve her?
Well, to be honest with you, I've got no idea. I was talking to the coach, Morgan Young, beforehand, and he was sort of looking at his lineup and mixing it through because Sophie Hoyle was a little bit late and he was sort of playing around who he's going to play and who he's not going to play. I would say Millie Fitch is sitting over there. She'd be getting ready to warm
I did
up.
see her in the bullpen, so she's been throwing a few down. I reckon she might be the next on. In the meantime, it is so important that the Thunder hold these runs.
Well, you know who's coming on now. Oh, no. Who have we got on deck for Thunder? I thought it may have been. Where am I going? Stephanie Trzynski, but no, they put her on the bench and didn't bring her in. So I'm not too sure who they've moved around. As soon as I get a number, I might be able to tell you. So I apologise at home. You probably screaming.
Number 11.
There we go. Number 11.
There we go.
So we got Ellie Georgaris. Is that how I? Georgaris?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Why can't they just have simple names like Cramp?
LEG, we're going
simple
with it.
name like Cramp always gets me through.
Bond.
Yeah.
Green. Oh, we're simple people.
I hope I pronounced that correctly. So we've got Jenny Gray up to bat now and just checks that one, says no thank you.
Actually, LEG, that was a great little change of pace there.
Yeah.
She had to think about it. So let's see what she can do, Ellie. Starting with loaded bases, of course, as we do. It's pretty important that Ellie is actually pretty tight here. Laura mentioned it before in the last game with the Vespers. She probably needs to hit some spots here and just focus on basic pitching because it's no good walking runners in and keeping those bases loaded for the bigger batters to come up.
Yeah. Well, look at the current position of the game. You've got 12 runs to 3. You've got a big innings, haven't you, in the bottom of the third to try and wheel that back. So what you need to do now is just mix it up a little bit, take a bit of the pace off, because like Jessie said, fast in, fast out. And there's another one. As that drives up the middle, yeah, and that should score 2 runs. And 100% is the runner for Jordan Lambert. That's Zoe Young.
Never's doing a great job to get to that, but she couldn't quite reach it. That was a beautiful hit right up the middle. It's just those ones you can't field, isn't it? It's right up the middle and nothing you can do.
That's right. That's not a bad replacement either for Jordan Lambert in speed-wise, because Zoe Young's pretty quick. And this will give Jordan an opportunity just to sort of put her feet up for the rest of the game.
Oh, just ice that cleat wound.
As Pippa Atkins makes her way across to third.
The ball just getting away from Tonkin there. That's what they won't want. They need to hold as many runs as they can. So Tonkin needs to be tight. LEG needs to be tight.
We've got Jenny Gray standing on second. And
Fly ball.
as that ball pops up and well, I don't want to say it, but that's something that Scott Rattingham used to do at third base. And you know, good call. Had your eyes on the ball 100% of the time. So Sophie Roberts had her eye on it and said, "I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I'm taking it." We don't encourage pitchers to get too much involved, do we? Laura,
Mark, yeah.
Laura,
Really?
Yes,
Really? You want to go there?
Laura's just nodding with agreement there, as I said.
No. That wouldn't have happened on my watch.
I'm so glad I'm separating you two at the moment.
I was going to say, even a fly ball to left field, when you were playing, Laura, the left field was like, should I get it?
I was all over it. Mel McGee had me covering the first baseline in those last couple of years of A grade. So
Oh, there we go. So, but
we're just watching this replay here. And I'm like, it's good she was tall. She's taller than Ellie, isn't it? That's.
Sophie Roberts is saying, "To never do that again. I'm the third baseman. I'll take everything." As that was in low again, and the Angels are sort of stranded at third and second at the moment.
Another young batter for the Angels. Leaving that one right down the middle. She'd probably like that again, I'd say. Throw that again.
And that's the thing. You throw a strike, they've still got to hit it. So instead of being behind the count.
Perfect. Just a little bit high outside, but spot on that edge. It was just brilliant. That was a great pitch from LEG.
I tell you what, you can see Neville getting wound up here. He thinks he's going to throw it out and give us a bit of
He's about to pull the chainsaw cord, isn't he?
Here he goes.
He's
Come
about
on.
to start it.
No one's more disappointed than Neville. Let me tell you.
He's got the itchy trigger finger.
He was about to do the match-off.
Itchy trigger finger Neville.
I have no idea who used to call him No Fun Neville.
He's all fun. He's all fun.
He's a good man.
And what a batter to have coming up with loaded bases. Chelsea Robinson.
Yeah, well, this won't be doing young pitcher
LEG any favours, will it?
any favours.
Boom,
She drives
straight
that
up the
one
middle.
down.
Neves getting that beautiful play by Neves. Takes the force out. That was brilliant.
Yeah, 100%. It's Shark Navigator. She's playing very, very well on those pivot positions. She plays short and second, and she does a very good job, doesn't she, Laura? And a justifiable call up too to the state team.
100%. She is so athletic in those pivot positions. Her coverage is amazing, and some of the catches and stops I've seen her make in the years have
It
been
helps.
quite amazing.
It does help when you're short, doesn't it, Mark, as a pivot, I reckon? You're closer to the ground.
Well, I totally agree with you. That's something that you and I can both agree on.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, we are both great fielders. It's very, very difficult when we're in the same lineup.
I wonder if we can get some shots on you guys rather than the game out there.
Yeah, no, probably.
Yeah,
for those playing at home. Now, for those playing at home, you've got Regan Lambert up to bat. Now, we've talked to Regan about her Grand Slam the other night. Her sister just hit a home run. This may make for interesting conversation if she goes
She's
after
early
it.
on it.
Yeah, and it's making up for interesting catching and tactics here from the pitcher. So catcher there, Tonkin, just setting up outside. They're trying not to give her anything. But she reached around and pulled it early.
Oh, that was the right pitch to go for, but
Definitely.
just choked her up on the inside there, didn't she? Just up on the handle, and Regan Lambert is the third out.
She was looking to hit. She was definitely going to be hitting that next pitch. You could tell from that last ball that she's pulled from the outside all the way in.
Was that the pitcher catching a fly ball then?
Again, well, I didn't like it. Again,
Special comments.
yeah, 100%.
I'm not sure Sophie was all...
Well, I was about to say, poor Sophie Roberts got sort of pushed out of the way there at third base as the pitcher comes in. Well, that was not a bad... Well, I was going to say it wasn't a bad innings, but look, they got
result
3
wasn't
runs.
there,
I think it was 3 runs they got there, or 2 or 3 runs, and they've got a big innings. And there's one person that the Thunder are missing right now. She's walking past home plane. Just giving young Zoe, is it a little bit of a nudge?
A little bit of a nudge.
Better words of encouragement, I hope, Belinda White. And
I'm going to have to talk to her about those Lorna Jane pants.
They're new. I just spoke to her.
They're loud.
Oh, wow. So I'm outside gathering information about talking about batting stances and pitching. And one of our special guest commentators is talking about Lorna Jane pants. I don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
So, well, keeping up with fashion trend and...
oh, thanks, Mark.
Yeah, no, it's...
Well, it's not just about the softball.
No, it's about the fashion on the field.
Yeah, I've always said to all my coaches, when they say, why did you miss that? I said, well, it's about looking good, not making the out.
Fake it till you make it, Mark.
Yeah.
Millie, first pitch for the Angels, a little bit low, didn't lift.
91 k's an hour.
Nice and fast.
So there's the answer to our question. So we've got Millie coming in to close this one out. She may start in the next one.
It'll be a great warm-up for her.
Yeah, then bring Jersey in or something like that.
That's perfect.
So, I mentioned it in the game before, the baseball tactics about giving yourself some room, some more time to field the ball. I've just noticed the field, they're in the traditional inside the line. What do you think about that?
Well, you know what? Look, it's loaded bases, right? Mm-hmm. So it's loaded bases. So they're in now to try and make the out. This is what we talk about. You try and make that sort of easy out. So sort of take if we were still playing this format, they're 11 runs up. I know there's bonus points at hand, but if you were a little bit further back, you could just casually take the ball like you normally would and then get an easy out.
Exactly.
What the Angels are trying to do, and what they've just done here is...
he's going to ping it. Yep,
no,
she's out.
He got it. Zoe made the play and then dropped that. But you're right, though. They were in early to protect that run coming home. That is a standard softball play and positioning, as you can see on the statewide super replay here. And she gets that down, and Zoe gets just about to make the transition, and then quickly picked it up.
But right play there, the bunt. Let's put the ball in play, and the pressure's come back on the field, hasn't it? And she's nearly made a crucial error there, Zoe at home. Luckily, she picked it up in time. This is bringing up Jackie Beale, I reckon.
Yes, it is.
Number 9, Jackie Beale.
Yeah, Jackie Beale. You're 100% right, though, Laura. In a normal game situation, you're protecting the run because it counts. But here, I'd go back a little bit and try and make a double or do something like that.
Just give yourself a little more time.
Give the spectators something to cheer about when the Thunder get a run home.
Loaded bases still for Jackie. She's got to pull something out here. It looks like she's going to be doing a running bunt by the stance, but she's going to have to penetrate this infield if she's going to make a difference with that one out already.
Oh, wowee. Now I've just seen a photo of Jordan Lambert giving us the thumbs up and showing us she's got some serious gashes on her shin.
She looks like she's been bitten by a shark.
Those metal cleats have done a little bit of damage, so hopefully she can make her way back for the next game, because she'd be high on the back of that home run that she hit in the Angels uniform. As we get back to the game now, and... Jackie Beale, see, she's pushing that out there.
She had to have a go at that. She wasn't going to leave it and be rung up.
Look, James made a very, very good point before. A first baseman should be making it known to the pitcher where the left-hand batter is positioning themselves. So at the back of the boxes, we've got the bat goes flying through as we get the ball forward. So if the left-handed batter is sitting right in the back of the box, there's a very good chance they're going to start running and do that. But before Pippa can set right up in the front of the box, she's not going to go anywhere, is she? So
agree. However, as a pitcher, you should be able to pick that up from the plate as well without being told.
Right. Okay. Thanks for special comments.
Straight to the point again.
Yes. No. Effectively.
I think that was a negative.
A pitcher. So I'm talking to a pitcher that thinks and catches the ball. It's a rarity, ladies and gentlemen. Take a photo if you get it on the thing. We're sitting next to a unicorn.
Holy moly! Not quite able to make that play for the Angels. Young's definitely going to work cut out for her behind the plate, hasn't she? She's catching, there's a lot going past her, but not all her fault.
No, we've got Sarah Tonkin on deck now, and you've got runners at second and third. They've got 4 on the board.
They need Tonkin to come up firing.
She puts one over here at 7:14. It sort of makes a little bit more respectable than where we were.
Tonkin not doing too bad with the bat as well, so just the batter you want for the Thunder coming in.
I have to say, in defence of Millie Fidge in the middle, she is still young, so there is some experience to be gained through the time in the middle. So
that one just going foul to the right side. Tonkin gets another crack at it with a 363 average. Could be a little bit better. There's a picture of Jordan in screen there, as you can see, the shark bite on the leg. That is quite a gash.
And thanks to Kelsey Nucky to running to her aid. Cleaning up the blood left from the cleats of Kelsey Barker. Jordan is okay. Well, a walk to Sarah Tonkin brings up Sophie Roberts, and gee, wouldn't the Thunder want a shot here just to reduce that gap?
They need a shot, James. It's as simple as that. And not with that rise ball. That was a beautiful ball from Fidge.
The Angels, though, would be hoping to make the 3 outs pretty quickly. For the extra point, they'll get 5 points if they can win by a margin of 10.
That's massive in this game.
Well,
that is absolutely massive.
They're just sitting, 7 points behind the Thunder. Thunder actually would have picked up 3 points on the table. They moved to 22, so 10 points separating them right now, but a live ladder would be 5 points of difference. A change up and chop foul by Sophie Roberts. So Millie Fidge in for the Angels has just added a little bit of variation, and no doubt you guys would have already been speaking about that.
Yeah, certainly taking a bit of pace off, and as Jesse said to Mark earlier, you know, the harder you throw it, the harder it comes back at you, and if you can just take the pace off and ruin their rhythm a little bit.
I think late in the night as well, the bats are warm, the eyes are in. It's time to start mixing up the pace a bit and keep them guessing.
That one, big foul ball there, going into baseball territory almost. Huge hit.
Bottom of the third of game 2 of the evening. We're about 8:30, so we're on schedule here, so the lights shouldn't go out too early. Chopping over the head of Chelsea Robinson, who is infielding short, 2 runs across the plate. And this will actually reduce the margin to the point where now the Angels are just in 4-point territory.
That was a beautiful chopping hit there, just getting over Robinson just enough. And brings in the runs. We've got Neves up now with some runners on. So another key batter for the Thunder. Needs to do a job.
Robinson fielding very aggressively inside the line with that force to home. She's just gone back a little bit now so she can cover third base on the potential stolen base attempt. I don't think...
It's probably where she should be for where the runners are and where this play is. And it's probably where she should have been the play before too.
Again, covering for the steal. I don't think Sarah Tonkin's going to try and steal a base, not when they're still chasing 8 runs. Batters 3 and 4 in the lineup up to bat.
Making the young catcher guess though. Fly ball, going left field.
Would call from Mackenzie Ween out at left field to call out Chelsea Robinson at shortstop to take the catch right on the edge of the grass.
Well, Sarah Tonkin isn't renowned for her speed on base, so it would have been a bit of touch and go.
No, I think so. I don't think she was going anywhere, but she gets the speed up rule now. Neves comes on to run, so it's all down to the batters now. The Thunder have to bat their way out of this. They've got no other choice.
8 runs the margin, Emmsee Sportswear Thunder. While I was having a well-earned rest, I went up into the grandstand to speak with Grant and Roz from Emmsee Sportswear, Port Road in Woodville, for all your softball needs, requirements, apparel and equipment. You cannot get better.
They've been great for
service.
the sport for so long now. They've been a powerhouse in supporting all formats of the game.
And so knowledgeable as well.
A strikeout for Millie Fidge will end the inning and the game. Angels running out victors over the Thunder, 14 runs to 6. And, well, it is an 8-run margin, which means 4 points to the Angels. From 4 encounters, the Angels have only managed to beat the Thunder once and that is tonight. So for the first time.
Can you live ladder me, James? Can you tell me exactly where we've been now, according to the points?
Not without my piece of paper. We've got to be on camera. So I've got my notes here. The Thunder, after beating the Vespers in the first game of tonight, would have picked up 3 points, and they go to 22 points. The Angels beating the Thunder by 8 runs will give them 5 points.
That's a massive lead, I reckon.
4 points. 4 points. And so they go from 12 to 16. And the Thunder will stay on 22 points. So this matchup between the Vespers could either bridge that gap a little bit closer or keep the Vespers in contention. The more you win by, the more points you can score. The less you lose by, you can pick up a point even for losing a game. So if you lose by a margin of 4 or less. Now, a quick turnaround. We'll probably see about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll be joined by special guest, Travelodge Aussie Spirit squad member Steph Drzezinski from the Emmsee Sportswear Thunder. So we'll get her insight into tonight's game and how they are feeling in the dugout. She's player coach of this team because she's also part of the coaching crew of the state under 16, under 18s, who will play later on in January. There's no clash of schedules, as she'll be playing with the Stars in the first week of January. And Laura, you're probably the best place to let us know, what does it actually feel like to represent the Stars team? It's the top team in the state, and you go away to national championships always with that hope that you might make it to the last game of the Gilly Shield, and the Stars, of course, just falling 1 run short last year against New South Wales. So what can we expect from Steph when she comes in? Let's see if it matches up.
Look, first and foremost, playing for the state in the senior team is a huge honour. When I played for the state team, we certainly weren't in the grand final or close to the grand final, so my experience would have been a little bit different to Steph's. But nonetheless, it's quite awe-inspiring coming up against some of the players that you've watched as a younger player and then making your way through to seniors and then having to pitch against them. It's a completely different ball game to any junior competition, even at nationals, that you face. So
sure. Great insight.
Plenty of people watching at home. Alex Fairley. We've got Roy Williams watching from all the way up north. Michelle and Adrian Wags, how are you? Also, Stacey McManus as well.
Travelodge Aussie Spirit player Stacey McManus. Thanks for tuning in, Stacey. Yeah, the Blue Blood. So she's. We won't mention her in any more comments. If you're going to keep that up, Stacey, I still will call out all Travelodge Aussie Spirit players. If you want to come to SA, play in the fully loaded competition, give us a call. We'll get you a team.
I love it that they're watching in Port Lincoln. Port Lincoln's always been one of those softball hubs that we love having down for the tournament. The long weekend's Tigers coming up too in January, of course, with the competition. Get down here, guys.
Yep, it would be great to see Port Lincoln back at the state championships. They obviously have Tunarama, so anyone who's
a bit of tuna tossing
at Destination SA or Tourism SA.
I've tossed a couple of tuna in my time.
Well, Tunarama's the biggest of their tourism.
It is.
So it's over the Australia Day.
Shark diving and tuna.
Shark diving. I took my dad over there a couple of years ago, shark diving. Was disappointing.
Speaking of sharks and bites, Jordan's leg, how is that going? Is she going to need stitches on that? Or?
Well, an update. Jordan Lambert did take a cleat to the shin. She is okay. There was a little bit of blood, but not as bad as Stacey McManus when she stood on Jordan's hand last year. So speaking of Stacey McManus, but also guys watching, we've got Sandana's watching again from the Netherlands. You'll be able to see Melissa de Grief on the diamond. Looks like she's warming up at first base for the Vespers in this
great game last
game coming up. Matt Axford asking for Jordan. I was lucky enough to be at his engagement party. He's a wonderful man, Matt and Ellie. Looking forward to their wedding next year. Cooper Goodman's watching, Stacey McManus again, and Austin Pundit is watching.
And Darren's watching his daughter for the Angels, Darren Fidge.
So keep up the comments. We'll say good day to you when we get the opportunity. We're live, we're interactive. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channel, you name it, we've got it. And we're also on free-to-air TV around the nation. NITV, Sunday afternoons at 12:30. If you're watching on the Freeview app or on Foxtel 144, you can watch it half an hour earlier on Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. We're also on Community TV here in South Australia as well, Channel 44. This will be the 4th year that they've supported us, the exact same as Spacequake Sports, who have been fantastic supporting softball in South Australia and Australia. Of course, you can watch all the big plays, the live action, all the highlights as well during the week on the Softball SA Facebook page. And I've put a couple of posts up on my Instagram page as well, James Harris 182. Guys, let's preview this next game. It is the Vespers versus the Angels. Angels have got a bit of momentum. Vespers are just at the bottom of the ladder, but they're not out of reach.
They're not out of reach.
They're not out of reach. Talent. And looks like Georgia Hooper is warming up to pitch, state under 16 representative. Yeah,
this is going to be interesting. They probably need to come out from the start and lead this game, the Vespers. We just didn't see them fire enough last game, and I think they need to get off to a great start. And the Angels coming off a brilliant win to pick up the 4 points. So the Angels fired and ready. I dare say Millie will keep pitching. Millie Fidge will probably stay on here as well. She's warmed up, ready to go. So it's going to be a tight battle, I reckon.
Just back on the live stream and on the comments as well. Kirsty is watching from Mildura, so they've just finished another round of fully loaded softball. So great to see that fully loaded softball is being played around the country in Mildura. The Sunraysia Softball Association giving it a crack. Well done to Mildura. We might even put a call out to David Pryles to go out to Mildura, say good day to the members at Sunraysia. He's the CEO of Softball Australia. Also put your hand in your pocket, send one of the Travelodge Aussie Spirits over to Adelaide to play in the fully loaded softball competition. Looks like Stacey McManus wants to play in it. Kate Skomporski is watching, and Cooper Goodman on his way to Canberra Skins. He's watching from the middle of nowhere.
Oh, so brilliant. So he must be on the road.
I'll see you over there, Cooper. I'll be over with the Thoroughbreds where we start the action tomorrow. You loved playing in the Skins.
I love playing Skins. I tell you what,
in Canberra.
That format and that game in Canberra is awesome, Cooper. You're going to absolutely love it. There's nothing better than playing for money, is there?
It's a sensational format, $50 per innings up for grabs, and it almost feels like you're getting paid to play softball.
I mean, how good is
that?
And
the South Australian Open men's coach Jared Farrell is already over there. He likes to do the long drive, as Cooper's doing at the moment as well. I'm one of the smart ones. I'm going to catch a flight using some of the frequent flyer points that I have.
That's something you only learn as you get older, though, James. Come on, I mean, the amount of times we've caught a bus to Canberra, which is probably the worst trip in Australia to bus to. It is awful.
It is when Mark Cramp and Scott Radigan are in the car.
Yes.
It's even worse when you've got Neville Lawrence driving the bus as well.
Oh,
I think it took an extra 10 hours.
We could exchange some state stories here and some skin stories. This will be interesting.
Guys,
not really.
We've just been handed the lineups, which means that we're just moments away from the next game. I can see that David Muggleton's given up the reins there at Switch as well, so we get the thumbs up there. He will be donning the helmet and manning the camera that's on field. How about this for fantastic broadcasting? Like, you've never seen it before, a camera on the softball diamond, and we look forward to what David Muggleton can bring us as far as camera angles go.
We got some great images last time with that. That was beautiful. I actually found myself glued to the screen because what you must be seeing from home, I mean, we don't get to see it all, but when I watch it back, it is so good to watch on the big screen. If you've got Apple TV or you can put it on the big TV, it's awesome to watch. This would have been great 20 years ago, wouldn't it? It's as simple as that. Poor Laura missed out. She's never on TV.
There's a reason for that, though.
Well, I've got to give a shout out to everyone who's helped out around Softball SA, the initiatives and the programs that are in place now. I would have loved that 25 years ago when I
yeah.
was first starting out in my representative career, the Dragons program is acknowledged and supported by the State Office for Recreation, Sport and Racing, and as well as any of the young kids that are coming through that program. We've got a couple of graduates of that program playing in this fully loaded softball competition as well. It's helped propel South Australian softball up to the top of the rankings in and around the national championships. So very special thanks to those that helped bring us that initiative, including the likes of Janelle Barron and Annie Fidge and Wes Francis as well, if you're watching. Part of the guys that just came up with this great initiative as well. Can't take all the credit. And then, of course, fully loaded softball. I mean, thanks so much to David Price and his team at Softball Australia for thinking up such a wonderful format of the game and giving that opportunity for participation all the way up to elite. Looks like the Vespers have taken to the field, so we'll see you in between the innings breaks. Back over to the live action on field, and I can quickly go around the diamond. I can see Georgia Hooper is pitching to Cara Schultz. At first base is Melissa de Grief. Over at second base, just hiding behind the mask, is Erin Stone. Shortstop is Maddie Cameron. Travelodge Aussie Spirit representative Maddie Cameron. Jessie Keach at third base, and patrolling the outfield is Jordan Lee, Hayley Benithan and Ada Caruana. Leading off for the Angels is Millie Fitch. She has loaded bases, and the runners are Sophie Hoyle, Jenny Gray and Harriet Rashid.
Just a 68-kilometre slow ball outside there, bringing up ball 2. KT behind the plate, Kevin Tannebury. Another high one outside.
As we will make some room for Mark Cramp. He's going to come in and join us back at the desk. Thanks, Laura. This is not the last we've heard of you. You'll come back in to help finish off the broadcast.
I can say that now. She's out of reach.
3 balls, 1 strike. So Millie Fidge been patient here, has watched 4 pitches. Now you think she might have a go at this one?
I think so. That's a beautiful strike.
Goes out deep to left field. Good catch taken out at left field. Holding up on third base for the sacrifice fly is Sophie Hoyle. So great take, Jordan Lee, out at left field. Well, now we've already spoken about that once already tonight. Geez, it must be in the back of your mind that line is so close.
Isn't it? And taking that catch, obviously you're giving up the run, but you're getting the all-important out.
This is Zoe Young up to bat. Oh, I thought that might have been a pick-up
thought
attempt
that might
from
have
Cara
been.
Schultz. It was a big lead off
Cara
at second
Schultz
base.
has absolutely hammered that back to the pitcher, so maybe she just wasn't happy with that one in the dirt.
Jenny Gray getting an extended lead for the Angels on second as Zoe Young sees that one over the plate for a called strike. Good to see all of the players in the lineup getting an opportunity. Zoe and Millie up the top of the order. They started off last game, and I can see our special guest. She's just lingering around, and she's going to go fetch that foul ball that Zoe Young.
She does everything, doesn't she, James? Happy to retrieve the foul balls, throw rockets to 9 batters per game, and she's softball written all over her.
Terrific talent. Just about to join us as we will make welcome Travelodge Aussie Spirit squad member, also part of the Mankato Foxes.
And
it's a home run! Zoe Young has put this one over the 180-foot line, and is that a 4-run home run or 3-run home run to Zoe Young? Blast the ball over the fence, and the home run celebration with the Angels lineup. Wow, great action, and welcome to the call team, Steph Trzynski. Hi, Steph.
Hi, James. Thanks for having me.
Well, you've just come in right at the right time. Zoe Young has blasted that ball to the fence, a home run to the Angels.
Yeah, wow. Was that left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed from Zoe Young.
Yeah, because Zoe's a bit of what we call a switch hitter. Sometimes she'll hit left-handed, sometimes she'll hit right-handed.
Well, we were just speaking of the Dragons program, and Zoe Young has been part of that the last couple of years, and of course her dad as well is a pretty good exponent of the left-handed batter's box as well. Chelsea Robertson puts this one deep. That one's Caught on the line. Hayley Benoithen's robbed a home run for Chelsea Robinson. What a great catch and great action here. Fully loaded softball.
Some good footwork by Hayley out there in centre field, I think.
Let's have a look at the statewide super. Steph, you can talk us through this. Read it well, didn't she?
Oh, well done.
Just took it right on the edge of the line there.
That's the third time tonight. And hello, how are you?
Hi, good. How you doing?
That's the third time tonight that we've seen it caught right on the line. A couple of times they've hit the glove and sort of rolled through, but that one that was caught, that was fantastic. Good awareness too for Hayley to stay in the position. Another cracking hit though from Chelsea Robinson.
Well, Georgia Hooper, under 16 state representative, one of the youngest players in the competition. Team's mostly made up of 18s, 23s and open women's, the Stars team. So great to see getting her opportunity. The Vespers, I wouldn't say they're light on for pitches. I mean, we've got the pitching stats here and Zali Adams just missing. So she'll be watching from Port Pirie tonight with her sister Neve, who's one of your teammates, of course. And Neve Adams, I just want to give her a little shout out there. She's hitting 571 with a 750 on base average. Thank you very much. Another one of our state under 16 representatives playing in 18s as well. But back to Zali Adams, who's pitching. She's thrown 5 innings to 24 batters with an average of about 4.8 batters an inning. That's pretty good going, isn't it? But only to be outdone by this young lady here, who was right at it again tonight. In the first game, 6 batters in the first 2 innings. As Georgia Hooper gets out of the innings with a big strikeout on Regan Lambert, who hit a Grand Slam home run last night. Steph, I'm not sure if you're aware of that game.
I did hear all about that.
Now, while we're talking about the pitching stats, Steph, we have been talking you up, and justifiably too, so don't get embarrassed or shy here. Looking at your stats, you're averaging only seeing 3 batters per innings. Now, you are pitching fantastic this season, whether it be the fully loaded competition, the A-grade league. You've stepped up. I don't know whether you've stepped up this year or what have you done? You're working harder. You're looking fitter. You're moving around the diamond a lot better. Your batting's improved. Now, did we talk earlier on in the year? Did I give you any advice, or is that what's happened? Because it seems to be.
Must have been, right? Yeah, I think so. That was it.
What have you done to change it? Because your pitching this year is fantastic, and the stats prove it. It's just not just word of mouth. Your batting is on fire. So talk to us. Tell us what have you been doing? How's your off season and everything?
I think this year I've just really tried to become a little bit more versatile. Before I've been a little bit more one-dimensional, relying on 1 or 2 pitches to get me through. But now I've added a little bit more to my repertoire, and I've got a few tools in my back pocket I can use. Ooh, nice pitch, Millie.
Let's just go to the live action. Billy Fidge is pitching and Maddie Cameron's up to bat for the Vespers. Loaded bases and 2 balls. Mark, world's longest question. Well done on that one. But Steph, we have spoken, haven't we, that with Andrew Kirkpatrick, part of the Aussie Spirit team coaching panel, like he's helped you out here or there?
It's gone!
Automatic home run
Nice.
from Maddie Cameron. Puts this one to the fence and the slow jog around the bases. And with that one swing of the bat, she's tied up the game. Let's have a look at the home run celebration, guys. Oh, she's had a drink, throws the cover, high five from Kevin Tannenbrink, and crosses the play. How about that for a celebration?
Nicely
Taking
done,
the piss
Maddie.
a little bit there from Maddie Cameron, but statewide super replay will show that
wow.
Hayley and Farris from the Scoots Cafe West Beach will be happy with that. Their marquee player, Maddie Cameron, with a Grand Slam home run to kick things off in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, that was a cracking hit. You were just saying, though, a couple of pitches before that Millie actually threw some very good spots, and that one just got away on her a little bit, and Maddie pounced on that. And you got to be very careful when you face a batter like that, a Belle White, even a Jordan Lambert, a Chelsea Robinson. But some very good batters.
This ball goes high out to right field and taken comfortably in the end for the Angels. Out there is, I was going to say Ada Caruana, but she's for the Vespers. That's Regan Lambert. For the Angels, 1 out. Jordan Lee up to bat now for the Vespers. Now, Steph, we actually, part of your answer, sorry, I cut you guys off as we were calling the live action, but part of your answer might actually be your workout regime. We mentioned it last week while you were actually in the batter's box.
Yeah, nice.
But I did mention that that we go to the same Pilates studio, KX in Glenelg. So hi to Imogen. She's one of our instructors, as well as Lisa. She's one of your favourites, I think. And KX in Glenelg just happened to have a Black Friday sale going on at the moment. Now, I'm not getting any freebies out of this. I'm just saying this because you look terrific on the field. You look like you're in great shape, and that's obviously part of your regime now.
Yeah, so just like I'm trying to add a little bit more versatility to my pitching, same with my workouts. Like I like to do strength training, conditioning, and I've been adding in Pilates, and I think it's really paying off for me lately.
Strike,
Good pitch.
swinging, and Millie Fidge gets her first strikeout of the night, and that was Jordan Lee for the second out. Ada Caruana now up to bat, and just in case you were wondering, it was KX Pilates Studio. So 2 out now. Angels and Vespers are tied. These two teams have played 3 times. This is the 4th time they've played against one another, and believe it or not, it's the Vespers that have the wood over the Angels at the moment with 2 wins, and the Angels beat them last week, of course. So this is anyone's game.
I'm interested to see what Millie does here with Ada. Ada always seems to get on base against me, so I'm all ears watching to see what happens.
Is she just one of those tricky batters that just...
She just finds a way to get on every time.
It's because she's
Ooh,
all
nice.
class, but on this
There we
occasion,
go.
it's Chelsea Robinson up to the challenge. They're firing across for the 3rd out. So after 1 complete inning, we are tied at 4 runs all. Now, this will give us an opportunity to go to social media, and I can see an old friend, Kobe Church, is watching, and you might want to say hello to Chris.
Hi, Chrissy.
Chrissy is watching. She's back from Hawaii, so she's living it up. To Hawaii, the northern beaches of New South Wales, and yeah, Jordan's okay. We put a photo up actually on the live stream. There was a little bit of blood, but
Yes.
but she gave us the thumbs up. Hey, Troy Purcell has asked us a question. Actually, Simone Thompson's watching. G'day to Simone. There's Jordan Lambert in the dugout giving us a wave, just icing up and resting the leg there. So she'll be back in
She's a
action
tough
for
cookie. She'll be fine.
West Torrens in a couple of days. Yeah, Troy Purcell's asked us on the live stream, who's leading the home run count in Fully Loaded, Robinson, Cameron or White? Well, I can tell you now, even though Bell's having a night off tonight, the stats, now I'm going to get Lindy Radigan to double check this one, because the stats actually say that she's hit 4 for 11 for the season, and of those 4 hits she's had, 5 of them have been home runs.
I think it may be around. I think it may be around the wrong way. I think she might have
9 hits.
9 hits
and 5 home runs. Troy,
100%.
to answer your question, Belinda White is leading the home run count, but Maddie Cameron's, has she hit 2 tonight? She might be up to 4. So it's absolutely hectic, this game of softball, and we can see Mickey Collins with a hit to right field, an RBI single, scoring Zoe Young from 3rd base. Angels back on the board straight away here in the top of the 2nd innings. Pippa Atkins, the batter, up to bat now. She hit a grand slam home run earlier in the night.
That was a dangerous throw coming in from right field there too. It made it grounded all the way into the catcher. Your last line of defence, no one was backing up, and it was Chelsea Robinson, I think, at 3rd base, waiting in anticipation to spring home.
Under 16 state team pitcher Georgia Hooper had a bit of a rough trot of it, her first appearance for the Vespers. She's pitched 2 innings to 15 batters and given up 9 hits. However, tonight, in her work that she's done so far, she's actually looked pretty good, Steph.
Yeah, no, I see that. I think also because she's young, she's going to learn really quickly. You know, so having that experience last week or whenever it was, she's going to be able to grow and adapt really quick because she's so young still. Ooh, nice
Big
pitch.
swing and a miss from Pippa Atkins, and Chelsea Robinson's going to be able to score on the pass ball. That takes the force off as well. Just getting away from catcher Cara Schultz. Speaking of versatile, she was playing 3rd base earlier tonight and catching here for the Vespers. Now, she's been called upon because Amber Hood's just recovering from a little bit of a finger injury. Oh, great shot, Pippa Atkins, opposite field. Hits a sharp shot out to left field. Second runner, Mickey Collins scores from second base. Pippa Atkins stands up at second. A 2-run shot as Regan Lambert comes in as well. Jordan Lee did well to stop that one. It's coming hard. Statewide Super replay. She just got a glove to it. Just fumbled as well, which would have allowed Mickey Collins to score the throw. Also missed the cutoff. So Sophie Hoyle now up to bat. Your club teammate.
She is my club team, long-term club teammate, me and Sophie.
Yeah. So she was at Glenelg Rebels with you a couple of seasons ago, and then last year you both made the move to West Torrens.
We were at Torrens Valley together before that too.
Torrens Valley, how about that? That was my first Adelaide club, Torrens Valley, 1995. With Heath Gilbert, he brought me over. You wouldn't know him, he's a very good friend of mine. Sophie Hoyle up to bat now, and your club teammate at West Torrens. I just want to touch on this quickly, Steph Trzynski. You played 9 games. You've given up 3 runs collectively as a team. An all-star infield behind you must give you all the confidence in the world you need as a pitcher.
Yeah, I definitely think we've probably got one of the best defenses in the team, and it makes it a lot easier as a pitcher knowing all I got to do is get some ground balls, pop-ups, and I trust my team behind me.
Hey, I tell you what this competition could do with as well as someone the likes of Lana. She fires that one as a foul ball. Lana Kaisler. Does she throws herself at every ball. I mean, I still remember that fantastic catch down here that she got that foul. I think it was Spacequake Sports 1 or 2, number 2 I think last year or the year before. Last week she came across from third base, as all third basemen do. They come across and hog the ball. Fumbled it a little bit, but then got the runner coming back and trapped it down a run play. She gets up, like you've got
Throws
pretty
the body,
good.
yeah.
You got good corners. You got good pivots. You're doing your job. Can be hard to beat.
And let's not forget Faith behind the home plate. She's been doing an absolutely
100%.
phenomenal job.
Yeah, 100%. Have you guys got a good working relationship? You work.
Yeah.
Like, how often do you guys train together, or is it just on the night, or?
Swing and a miss. She has the opportunity to go up to first base.
Pippa.
Drawing the play, Pippa Atkins able to steal a base there on the throw from Kachikara Schultz over to Melissa de Grief at first base. Let's talk about Melissa de Grief just quickly as well. She's come over from the Netherlands just to have a look at Australia, and she's ended up getting a gig at West Torrens and also in the Vespers fully loaded team. Jenny Gray gets a shot opposite field. Ada Caruana might have a play at first.
Ooh.
This is just off the base, but Jenny Gray would have been safe anyway. RBI singles. Pippa Atkins crosses the plate. But you were a teammate of hers. DSS
in the Netherlands last year.
Well,
Melissa was one of my teammates.
Give him a shout out. Say hello to Norman, the
Hi
girls.
Norman, Morgan, Annemiek, everyone. Oh, nice.
Harriet Rashid, great piece out to centre field.
Very good effort from Haley Benithan there.
But not much she could do except for trap it and
Keep it in front of her.
and reduce the damage. And it is Jenny Gray who advances to second base.
Does that bring it up to 9 runs now with Pippa coming home?
You might be onto something there, Mark.
You're doing well to keep track. There's a lot going on, isn't there?
Well, I mean, we the first week, we're still getting over the first week, Steph, and I'm sure you girls have settled down a lot quicker than we did. We were lost. There was only James and I here, and we were sort of like, we're chasing paper. I didn't have who was on what, and we're going, great play by the third baseman, blah, 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 blah. But this week, this time now, we sort of calmed down a little bit, and we sort of know where we're going. It's always good to watch you pitch, though, because I know I don't have to, scribble too much on the board, and as that one pops up.
Second base, infield fly is called. Erin Stone completes the catch for the second out.
Yeah, so I was just saying that, so as watching it, and how is it playing it? Obviously, I've never played this format. It's only introduced. I've only just started playing myself.
I feel like as a pitcher, I don't really have time to think. Like
you
as
shouldn't
soon as
anyway. Say that to Laura. We don't want pitchers to think.
I have absolutely no time to think. I'm just on the mound right away.
How do you go with the no warm-up pitches in the 15 seconds? What does that do to your mindset? Because to me, it doesn't. From an outsider looking in, I watched your game the other day against Walkerville. Fantastic game too, by the way. Congratulations. It was a great draw. But you don't seem to be setting up any different to me? Like when I watch you here live or I watch you play now, you sort of got that composure. You go out there, you take your time, and you just do it. Like, are you still doing that same rhythm?
Yeah, I'm trying to as much as I can.
Zoe Young grounds out to pitch at Georgia Hooper for the third out, restricting the Angels. But they have been able to manage 5 runs in this inning. Is that right, Mark? You've been keeping count?
Well, I've got 5. Zoe down to the
Score
Pipper.
9-4 in favour of the Angels against the Vespers as we're in the middle of the second inning. Steph Trzynski joining us from the Emmsee Sportswear Thunder. Emmsee Sports owner, operator, Roz and Grant McCarran were in the stands tonight, and so they were very impressed with the form of the Thunder and very happy to see them at the top of the ladder. Steph, let's talk home run celebrations. It's unique to this format of the game because you wouldn't want to do it in a regular format of the game. You don't want the consequences of what happens after that. But what's the home run celebration for the Thunder called?
Oh, what it's called? I'm not sure.
It doesn't have a
actually.
name?
I don't
It's
think
just
so.
a routine that you have?
Yeah, we actually haven't had one in a little bit, so we haven't had much.
And you having a
practice
crack at my
lately.
questions. Oh, what are they going to call it? The Bolt? The Thunderbolt? Like, let's go out and
Oh,
do
I
the
like
Bolt?
that.
A
Do
little
you
bit
like
of
that?
thunder, a little bit
Yeah.
of lightning.
Very, very
It's a
frightening.
song, isn't it?
Jesse Keach, the batter in the box for the Vespers. We've seen a couple of different variations of the home run celebrations. It all came about from the SummerSlam as well. So it's great to see the different celebrations because the camera work of Spacequake Sports captures it. It feels like we're there on the field with you. Any chance we might see you take the bat off the shoulder and swing hard for the fence? Are you?
That's
is
all
that
I
on your
do,
mind?
James.
Yeah, that's true. Pippa Atkins
Whoa.
had the frame of mind to play home, but the throw has just gone over the head of catcher Zoe Young, and on the overthrow, the Vespers take full advantage. And Jesse Keach's little ground ball straight back to Pippa Atkins at first has turned into a 2-run shot, reducing the margin, and now it's just a 9-run to 6 lead to the Angels with no outs. Melissa de Grief up to bat.
Well, that was a bad error there by Pippa Atkins. She picked up the ball cleanly, but just threw it away. A slight, maybe picked up a little bit of dust. I'll give her the credit, a benefit of the doubt there, but you don't like seeing those on a tight game. But this is what this game does. It's quick pick and throw, isn't it? And this will help their skills, don't you reckon?
Yeah, completely. Because you're starting the inning off with loaded bases. There's pressure on you from the get-go. Like that's a fairly well-fielded ground ball, but all of a sudden, loaded bases, first batter, it makes you sort of think a little bit.
Well, I was just saying to Laura before, it was a different setup because we had loaded bases and the Angels were all in the corners like we are now, trying to protect that home play. That is setting up for a normal game. Like on a normal game situation, everyone was moved in, right? Because getting runs in a normal game is very difficult, as you know, like especially off you, right? But in a game like this, do you reckon they should just ease back a little bit, get a double play,
I mean,
make
I don't want to give away
easier?
all of our tips and tricks of the Thunder.
Go on. Just for those watching at home or the up-and-coming wannabe Steph Trzynskis.
I mean, you're exactly right. In this format of the game, you're sort of warranted you're going to get a few runs, so you really want to just make outs at this point and condense it as much as you can. So, yeah, normally in a game you might sit in a bit closer, but for this sort of format, maybe you find yourself better off sitting back and taking the outs that you can handle.
Great pitch from Millie Fidge to
Very
get the
good
strikeout on de Grief. So the first out of the inning for the Vespers brings up Cara Schultz up to bat. And let's keep talking tactics. During SummerSlam in February earlier this year, we did see a few shifts in the field. We saw an outfielder come in for an extra infielder. We saw defenses shift to the left-hand side. We haven't seen that in this version of the game. Is that are the state coaches just trying to keep the field in relatively traditional positions, or do you think we might actually start seeing that with the likes of, say, a Maddie Cameron that comes up to bat, or maybe even a short player, like someone who's batting a short left-handed slap plays, perhaps like Jackie Bill, for example? Cara Schultz pops this one up to second base. Mickey Collins takes a good catch, backing back.
I think you're forgetting that there's a finals round at the end of this, James, and we're not trying to show all of our tricks right away.
There is a finals round, 6 minor round weeks, and then top place team will go straight into the grand final, and second versus third will have a playoff too.
Sitting on top of the ladder. You can't have any more tricks, surely.
A little bit of cushion might be nice.
Yeah. Now, we haven't spoken very much, so I don't know your travels, but you've travelled all around the world. Tell me your favourite. You're not going to upset anybody, like any other clubs, but your favourite club, your favourite team you play for, or favourite competition that you've played in around the world. The South Australian State Champs, that'll be up there.
Yeah, definitely. West Beach, probably. Adelaide wins, takes the cake. I don't know. I think everywhere I've played has its own little quirks and its own little something that I loved about it. I did love playing in Holland last year, though. That was the lifestyle. The lifestyle I was living over there was awesome. I had a chance to practice or train every day and play some really high quality games, which was really fun.
Yep.
But then I've also loved playing in New Zealand as well. It's a little bit closer to home. I was a little bit more familiar, and I knew some people over there.
That was last year? Or this year, wasn't it? You played over there? I think you played sort of at the start of the year, because I did see some sort of information come through.
2017, 2018 season.
Yeah, so last year. Okay.
Yeah,
But,
whatever it was.
and how'd you go over there?
Yeah, good. I had so much fun, made lots of friends.
Excellent.
Aaron Stone up to bat for the Vespers. I will note that Softball New Zealand have started a new short format of the game. It gets a walk, so well done to Aaron Stone, and brings up Georgia Hooper up to bat. Yeah, New Zealand have started a new short format of the game called Fastball 45, and not too dissimilar to fully loaded softball. Interesting rule they have: if you make a double play, it ends the inning.
Ooh,
And they can
I like
play with
that
4
rule.
outs in an inning as well. So third out is made by shortstop Chelsea Robinson, backing back and taking a good catch. So Vespers do close the margin down to 3. It is 9 runs to 6 as we watch the statewide Super Replay. And just on the Softball New Zealand, they are playing on their pay TV channel, Sky Sport. So you can't really see too much of their action, but I'll be very interested to see how that format of the game going. They're playing a men's game and a women's game each night on Thursday, Friday and Saturdays if you can catch the action. So shout out to Chopper and his team that call the action over in New Zealand. But I did notice a good friend of yours, Mim Caduccio, has made her way over there to play in that format of the game. So who knows, if you keep up the form you're in now, you might get a call up to go over and play Fastball 45 in New Zealand.
As long as it doesn't clash with my West Torrens schedule.
Dedication, I love it. As a pitcher, now tell me, what do you do in this scenario? Don't give all your secrets away. Just tell me a little bit what you do, so then I can tell the girls later. You've got Chelsea Robinson walking up to bat, who doesn't mind swinging. You got loaded bases. What do you do for those playing at home? Tell me. Are you pitching outside? You're cramping her up. You're doing some change-ups. What are you doing?
I think you've sort of got two schools for thought here. I'd either be thinking low and away and try and get a ground ball to keep it in the infield.
100%.
Or I'd be throwing out of hands and try and get a pop it up. And then bank on my outfielders to make a good throw home. Oh, nice.
Double play.
First base from Georgia Hooper. Had a sharp chance and a return hit straight back from Chelsea Robinson. Takes a catch on the glove side, plants her foot down on the base for a double. And gee, that's going to relieve a little bit of pressure on the Vespers. Regan Lambert, the batter, in the box now for the Angels. Runners on second and third. Change up from Jessie Keach, the new pitcher in for the Vespers.
Jessie mixes her off speed in very well. I think that was that last pitch there, wasn't it?
Sure was. Came in at 62 k's an hour, so very good variation as we see a drop ball coming in about 82. So it had a bit of dip to it, and 20 k's an hour faster than the one before. 2 strikes on Regan Lambert.
Now, I was just going through my cheat sheet here from the very first game, Steph, where you were pitching. Maddie Cameron was up to bat. You caught her with the outside first pitch. And then you got her to cramp up, and she fouled it, popped it up to the...
She did.
So that's exactly what you were just talking about then. So you sort of out, you got her with that, and then you threw it at her hands, and it popped straight up. And we were sitting here, so if you watch the replay at home, like everyone should be watching it, you'll hear us say that was a fantastic pitch, and you got her up the handle, and it worked, didn't it? It popped it straight up. So very good tactics for those young, up-and-coming pitchers out there. Take note of where this ball is landing and going.
Regan Lambert gets a piece of this one, and Jessie Keach takes a good catch. So
Good inning for Jessie.
yeah, it certainly was. She got out of that inning without giving up a run, a double play on the first batter, and then a pretty good catch taken off Regan Lambert here. Let's have a look at the statewide super replay. Robinson, Lambert, 2 batters, inning over.
Do love a good pitcher that can field, don't we?
So we sure do. We may have mentioned one other pitcher that might be joining us here in the commentary position and how proficient he is on the field of play. Guys, what this does is gives the Vespers every opportunity to win this ball game. They'll have loaded bases, and look who's coming up to bat. With one pitch, they could win this game.
Yeah, this is an ideal situation.
It's
for
Maddie
Vespers,
Cameron.
isn't it? Yeah.
For
Spoiler
a
alert.
little bit of support there from my from my crew here.
Do you walk her in this situation? She's already bombed one already, okay? And you've got a fresh pitcher coming in.
It's Sophie Hoyle coming into pitch.
Do you walk her now and give up one?
Nah, go for her.
Okay, you don't, but what I'm saying, should they?
Well, guys, this is one of the
What are you laughing at, Kelsey? No,
of
you
the
walk you.
highlights of this game is that there's no warm-up pitches between innings, so Sophie Hoyle has got to slot this one. You don't want it anywhere near the zone for Maddie Cameron.
You got to slot it, but you don't want it in the zone.
Yeah, it
Sophie
makes sense.
Hoyle's a part-time pitcher at best. It's the bottom of the third. The game is on the line, and you've got Travelodge Aussie Spirit player Maddie Cameron up to bat against a part-time pitcher in Sophie Hoyle, who whips that one in there at a
Come on, Blue.
very nice and easy 75 k's an hour. That might have been her fastball on the outside edge. Let's keep watching. One eye on the radar. Kelsey Nucky's in hysterics watching this. Maddie Cameron puts this one to
Nice,
knocked
the
Kelsey.
it down.
backhand side of Chelsea Robinson, and may have saved a run as a ground ball to the outfield. May have scored 2. Kara Schultz crosses the plate. 1 run score. So Maddie Cameron way ahead of that one. Let's watch the statewide super replay. She hits that one out of the hand of Sophie Hoyle. She was that early on it. Brings up Hayley Benithan, who can now win it with 1 swing of the bat. No out, still loaded bases. It's a 9-7 ball game. Smashes this one. It's going to go the distance. A grand slam home run to Hayley Benithan will win the game for the Vespers. Let's watch the celebration as David Muggleton gets across there in the action, has a drink, and across the finish line in slow motion.
Well done.
That wins the game for the Vespers. Here, in any other situation, would have been a walk-off home run, but the Vespers will have the opportunity to pour some runs on. They lead the game by 2, so 1 run, 1 point so far to the Angels. If they can hold the margin to another 1 or 2 runs, and then if the Vespers can keep piling them on, they can get right back into this competition, as they are quite a few points behind top of the table, the Thunder, but they are within reach of the Angels with that home run from Hayley Benithan. It's not her first of this competition, Hayley Benithan. She is sitting pretty with a few hits, including her 2nd home run. She's been a great contributor in defence as well as offence, robbing a home run earlier on in this game.
Which is another reason I would have said to attack Maddie, because you've got Hayley Benithan hitting right after her, who's just as capable to hit a home run, which we obviously saw.
11-9. We've had the official scoring come through.
For 11-9.
11-9 to the Vespers.
Leading by 2.
I thought I was just checking before with the official scores. I had 7 before the dinger, and so it's. Oh, I'm broken.
11-9. Yep. So
I'm unbiased, but I'm broken. The Vespers have. Here we go. As we go out to Chelsea Robinson, scoops that up nicely and rolls it over. Great arm, great pickup, and there's the out. The Angels needed.
Yeah, Jordan Lee got a good piece of that ball, and as she took off, I actually thought she'd have a good chance here as we watched the statewide super replay, because Chelsea Robinson had to break away to her right just a step, but had fired the ball off before it even felt like there was in her glove. Ada Caruana, the new hitter. Guys, there is just the 1 out, so which means we're down to the last 2 outs of the night. Hey, Roman Matuska's watching. He's played in the Netherlands. He's from the Czech Republic as well. So we're going all around the world here tonight. And so I also saw Steph Van Lieshout's watching from Queensland. And I also saw from Denmark, Kim Hansen was watching as well. One of the greats of the game in Europe and in Denmark. So lots of people watching from all around the world, catching the fully loaded softball action. And if you want to start playing fully loaded softball in your club or your association, all the resources are there, fullyloadedsoftball.com.org.au. Sorry, just get that correct. And thanks to Softball Australia for that.
Great hit.
Good shot out to left field. It's opposite field shot. Harry Rashid handcuffed a little bit there. And Ada Caruana is aboard. 1 out. And the Vespers cruising here in the 3rd inning.
The comment from Denmark, does it say sent from min iPad underneath it? That is sent from my iPad.
Right, I got that.
It's the only Danish I know. My mate sends me emails all the time, and at the bottom it's send from min iPad. Just a bit of a lesson, just in case you want to go and play there.
I'll keep that in mind.
Multilingual, Mark.
Well, I'm just looking out for Steph if she ever gets a gig over there, you know.
Well, they do have some great softball action there. A good friend of ours, Ryan Volk, is a coach. Actually, I think Kim might be his assistant coach of the Danish women's team. So anyway, let's get back to the action. 2 outs left in the night. Vespers looking to put a few more runs on to try and catch top of the table Thunder. And joining us in the commentary position is the Thunder star pitcher, Steph Trzynski. And thank you for joining us, Steph. It's been an absolute pleasure. We only have the biggest names joining us at the commentary position. Week 1, we had Travelodge Aussie Spirit head coach Lang Harrow. Last week, we had AFLW Premiership player and former Stars player, Georgia Bevan. And so your name will go up and amongst those, as well as other Travelodge Aussie Spirit players. Maddie Cameron, Belinda White have all joined us here at the desk. So thank you for joining us tonight and giving us some insight. We might give you the opportunity to call the next play here.
The next.
That was a walk. That was a walk.
And a walk to Jessie Keach.
See, Steph doesn't know what a walk is. She hasn't thrown too many of them. So she was like, what happened there? What happened there? Why aren't they going back to the dugout? Come on. This year, James, getting a little bit of feedback there. As long as you're
He's
okay.
all sorted.
Yeah.
Jess Torpy's just joined the people watching at home. I've missed Matt's comments tonight, so if you want to just give him a nudge and wake him up, I would just want to say hello to my special friend Matt Torpy, one of the greats of the game. Would love to see him back playing. Jess Torpy, of course, part of the Travelodge Aussie Spirit family. So still just the 1 out. Melissa de Grief is up to bat. Sophie Hoyle is pitching for the Angels. Yes, you just heard me say Sophie Hoyle pitching for the Angels. Whips that one in, and it's just out of the zone for a ball. So good batting from Melissa de Grief, waiting for a good pitch to swing at. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Does Sophie throw BP or anything like that to you girls before? Like, has she got any previous pitching experience? Is this...
Sophie is always happy to put her hand up and help pitching all the time. I think that you'd find there's some people out in Mildura, Sunraysia, that are very accustomed to seeing Sophie pitch.
Right.
She's definitely rolled her arm over a little bit before. Always happy to help the team out. When
Took
she
us through her
needs to.
technique. She doesn't really get off that plate, does she? She doesn't drive.
We could
off with the
probably
legs
work
and
on some leg drive.
get a bit more side on, maybe.
Make sure I give her that feedback.
Yep.
She's got a decent arm circle though, so there's some positives in there.
Oh, well, she's just had another walk. So Melissa de Grief, back-to-back walks for the Vespers. Loads the bases for Cara Schultz. She doesn't want to throw one down the middle here to Cara, because this will put them 6 runs ahead and give them 5 points. That could almost catch them in the standings if Cara can get a hold of one here with 1 out and loaded bases.
Cara's definitely one that's got a lot of power.
Ada Caruana will cross the plate and score easily. One of the fastest players in the competition. All right, let's get back to calling the action here, Steph. I want to see your hear your best opportunity.
My best prediction?
Yeah, your best call here, because
I'm
we
feeling
might have to have you back.
I feel like I'm feeling a double play, line drive double play. Oh.
Cara Schultz pops this one up to right field. Go, Steph, take over here. Regan Lambert takes the catch.
Nah, she's safe. Jessie's a quick runner. She had that all day.
Jessie Keach tagging up at third base. So a sacrifice fly to Cara Schultz. So 2 runs across the plate at her turn at bat. Melissa de Grief has moved across to third, so that margin's now out 13-9. And the Angels need to be careful. If they give up one more run, they'll lose their bonus point. Actually, it's out to 5 now, so they have lost their opportunity at a bonus point. The Vespers will take 4 points minimum out of this game. If they can get it up to 10 runs, they'll get 5.
10 runs.
A 10-run margin will give them 5 points for the win.
Has anyone got that yet?
You've had a... Oh.
You know that the Thunder
You've had a
have
couple
got
of those.
it. You already
Thanks
know
for playing along at home there,
Game
Steph.
1, Thunder won 20-9 against the Vespers and picked up
promise that was
5
not
points. But other than, that has been the highest winning margin. Game 1, week 1.
Go the Emmsee Thunder.
I'm
Ooh.
pretty sure Emmsee Thunder play at home here. Melissa de Grief beats out that throw. Good cover at home from Sophie Hoyle. Gets out of harm's way. Yeah, that result was 20-9, 5 points. Largest scoring game as well, 20 runs. Thunder then put 19 on the Vespers the week after, but it was only a 6-run margin and 4 points to the Thunder on that occasion.
Definitely helps when you've got Belle White and 5 home runs on your team, doesn't it?
Certainly does. A pop-up out to right field, and Regan Lambert just spills out of the glove.
She thought second base was coming out there. She had a very slow takeoff at that ball, but made a very good attempt in the end, but it just fumbled out as she dived for it or hit the ground as we watch a statewide super replay. Oh.
Yeah, great effort from Regan Lambert. She nearly took the catch. Erin Stone is on first base for the Vespers, and Georgia Hooper gets her second turn at bat. Not a bad player here. Handy to have in the lineup. Under 16 player, can pitch, can play first, and also reasonable hitter. She swings at this one, just gets underneath it. There was only 1 out, I reckon. No, it must have been 2 out, and that will end the ball game. So a good catch taken at second base from Mickey Collins, part of your team, the under-18s stateside. So celebrations all round. Angels giving the high fives, but it was the Vespers that ran out victors, as which the statewide super replay of the final play of the game. So a win to the Vespers, courtesy of the Hayley Penithan Grand Slam home run. 4 points for the win. They'll go up to 10. The Angels beating the Thunder tonight went up to 16 points, but your win earlier against the Vespers took you to 22 points. The Vespers picked up 1 point because it was a close game. Actually, we thought we might have gone to a tiebreaker, our first tiebreak game. Looked like a strikeout for the third out, but in the end it was just a ball, and that gave a chance for the Thunder to take the win in that game, away from Bill Benedictson, who's assistant coach of the Vespers. So a win to each team. Just the same as week 1, just the same as week 2. We're on camera now, Steph. If you want to give everyone at home a wave and say hello. You were going to say something there.
No, I was just about to say the Vespers have got the wood on the Angels, haven't they? 4 times they faced, and 3 to the Vespers. Very good job, David Mogleton. Very, very good job on the on-field camera.
Yep, so a recap of tonight. Thunder beat the Vespers, Angels beat the Thunder, and the Vespers beat the Angels. So that is a repeat of the results of week 1 and week 2. Believe it or not, it is just such an even competition. You just never know who's going to come up with a shot. Hayley Penithan was the Grand Slam home run hero in that game. We saw Jordan Lambert do it the game before against your team, the Thunder, and we've seen Belinda White only do it about 12 times, I think, so far for the Thunder, and she had the night off.
Yeah, and still hit a home run.
Yeah.
Let's just touch base with those watching at home on social media. You've got a couple of shout-outs here, Steph Jess Torpy. Hair is looking great, Steph Truzinski. And Alex Pallett has said Megan Hammond, look who's watching. So Alex Pallett's watching from Sunraysia in Mildura. A couple of shout-outs tonight. Matt Torpy finally commented, good to see that you're still watching, Matt. Can't wait to see what you've got for us next week as well. So thanks everyone who's watching at home. Guys, we'll start to wrap things up. The lights are going to go out probably in the next half an hour, but we need the time for the the Spacequake crew to pack up. They ran out of time last week, so very special thanks to the Spacequake sports crew. David and your team, you do an amazing job. Bob Burns, Blimes, Emmsee Sportswear, Statewide Super, CBS and Mind Lab. Thank you for our broadcast partners. We can't do it without you. Our franchise owners, the MFSA Nairne Angels. I might bring him in, guys. What do you think? Let's speak to the man himself, David Muggleton. Don't run away, mate. I'm going to bring you in. Guys, let's have a talk to the man who's behind the magic that brings us the fully loaded softball action and the Adelaide Club competition on a weekly basis. David Muggleton, the man.
What is up?
Well, David, talk us through the on-field camera. You were running the on-field camera tonight in this game. For this game, sorry.
Yep.
You were pretty excited out there. You loved it. You were running around. Tell us about it.
I finally get to be out there in the middle of the action.
It's a first, isn't it? It's a first for softball in SA. It's from what I'm seeing.
James brought that up last week, and it's unconfirmed, but it might be the first time a camera's been on field during gameplay.
Yeah. I like the little play that you chased Regan Lambert out there.
I was giving her a heads up because she was just like, why is he still following me? And I'm like, I'm just going to do one little orbit and then I'm going to come back out.
Steph, David's very shy in promoting self-promotion. I think he's told me a couple of times, stop talking it up.
You guys were just sourcing it on a little bit.
David, tell me, you do a lot for amateur sport around South Australia.
Yes.
Not only softball, but tell us the other sports that you cover and what you do.
Oh, well, right now we're also covering the Super League Baseball Adelaide, which is why we haven't been at softball on Wednesdays, but fortunately the Fully Loaded gives us our weekday softball fix. Not a lot during the summer. Winter's definitely when we're a lot busier. So we've got netball, Premier League basketball, rugby union. We do the amateur footies, field hockey as well.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic, and you're giving back. You should be getting the credit that you deserve, and kudos to you and your team. Steph, this is fantastic coverage. Like you've played all around the world, and tell us about how this mixes with the others.
So good. I mean, I played on ESPN and places like that, and I think the footage that I'm able to come back and watch after the game absolutely rivals that.
Do you just fast forward it to yourself? That's what I normally do.
Yeah.
Just when I'm when I'm on. There's a game in the background. I'll be coming on shortly. All right, James, I might get you to come in, take over from me. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone that's playing at home. David, stay there for a second.
Okay.
I'm sure Jim wants to talk to you. Jordan Lambert's just walking past there. She's dancing, so she can't be too much pain.
Got a battery in my back
she's
pocket.
taken off now. So everyone at home, Jordan is okay. A little bit of...
It was a nasty... It looked nasty, though.
It did. You know, that reminded me of when Belle copped one in the mouth not long ago, and it just looked so dramatic on camera, and then we realised that Belle was just playing it up. No, she was okay. All right, I'm going to say goodbye. James, you come back in and wrap us up.
How's the heart rate out there?
Sorry?
How's the heart rate when you're on the field?
Everyone kept thinking that, are you worried you're going to get hit? I'm like, no. And if it does come my way, I'll just dodge it and expertly film it as it comes past me.
I expect nothing less.
That's pretty much the goal.
Want to thank you so much for joining us, David Muggleton. I reckon we'll try and get you on the mic as soon as possible to help commentate. I reckon this Saturday might be an opportunity.
Oh, possibly.
It is Breast Cancer Awareness Round this Saturday, so make sure you tune in at 2 o'clock for the Walkerville Cats versus the Glenelg Rebels in the 10th Breast Cancer Awareness Round. Fantastic initiative. In fact, it's going around all the way around the country, and it was started right here 10 years ago, Glenelg versus Walkerville Cats. Thank you to everyone who's watching at home. Thank you to our special guests tonight, Steph Trzynski. We had Faris and we had Hayley from the Scoots Cafe West Beach. The franchise owners joined us. We had Grant and Ros McCarran from Emmsee Sportswear in the stands tonight, just enjoying the action, watching their star Steph Trzynski go about her business. And you had an impressive win against the Vespers tonight. Vespers beat the Angels and the Angels beat the Thunder. So a win for each team. Thanks to Mark, Nick and Laura for joining us in the commentary position. David, to you and your team, you've done another magnificent job bringing us live softball action. We'll be back next Thursday for fully loaded softball action, 7 p.m. Thursday night. And of course, you can go on to our Instagram, our Facebook page and YouTube channel to catch all the replays, the live action and all the big plays as well that this man here, David Muggleton, brings us every week. And we just can't thank you enough. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. David, you got any words to say? Do you want to thank your crew?
Oh yeah, thanks to the Dallas. This is Dallas's first season covering softball, so he's been thrown into the deep end. First time up on the main camera as well. Emily, who switched the couple of games last year as well, so Emily's back, and that was us. We've got no one who was covering the regular stuff last year is back. We lost a bunch of them to the Mortal Kombat shoot, so they'll come back eventually.
Okay.
But yeah, everyone who's been covering the softball so far this season, for the most part, are covering it for the first time. So huge props to all my camera operators for doing a good job, learning quick.
Fantastic job.
Yeah.
Well, we might wrap things up here tonight. Thanks again, Steph and David. And fully loaded softball action will be back again next Thursday, but the next broadcast will be 2 p.m. this Saturday for Breast Cancer Awareness Round. Make sure you're wearing your best pink shirt on Saturday, David. And well done to all teams and everyone tonight. We look forward to your company next week right here. Space Quake Sports and Softball SA. Good night.